The National Football League. Today, it's the Los Angeles Raiders versus the Houston Oilers.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Opening day for the Raiders and the Oilers. Two playoff teams of a season ago. And today, making their debut in the regular season in silver and black for the Raiders, two Hall of Famers of the future from the 49ers, Roger Craig and Ronnie Lott. Together, they played on those Super Bowl winners. Actually, Lott played on all four 49er Super Bowl winners, and Roger Craig on three. And there is the focal point of the Houston Oilers from Los Angeles, California. Started Hamilton High School and the University of Washington. Warren Moon. He is the focal point of the team. He is it. As Warren Moon goes, so go the Oilers. And last season, he went better than any quarterback in the NFL other than Jim Kelly. The run and shoot revolves around Warren Moon, and that's what the Raiders have to defend today. The last time these two teams played was in 1989 in this building. Oilers won it 23-7. Raiders, though, are the best opening day team in AFC history. 19-14 over the years, and as you know, the Raiders usually open on the road. Here's the kickoff, and taking the ball now for the Houston Oilers, and coming down is Pinkett, who gets across the 10-yard line and out close to the 15. Coming down to make the play was Elvis Patterson for the Raiders. And Warren Moon will be working behind this offensive line. Don Maggs, Mike Munchak, a perennial All-Pro at left guard. Bruce Matthews, the former All-American in Southern California, moves to center today. He's a Pro Bowl guard because of an injury to Doug Dawson. John Flannery, a rookie from Syracuse, starts at right guard. The right tackle will be Big David Williams. Alan Pinkett, the lone running back in the run and shoot offense. Jeffries, Hill, Gibbons, and Duncan. The Fab Four, they call them. Between them, they caught lowest total was 66 receptions last year by Duncan. High total, Jeffries and Hill each caught 74. And Warren Moon looks to gun on first down, and the Raiders kind of flying in as they get the big rush up the gut. Scott Davis blew by the blocker, and there's a penalty marker down.
Foul, second down.
Red Cashin, the referee. Trump.
You can see the Los Angeles Raiders' choice defensively here at the outset against this run and shoot. As you look at the up front seven, there's only one linebacker in there. Raiders' choice, use 4 down linemen, 1 linebacker, and 6 defensive backs. That's the alignment right there, the bandit defense to start the game against the run and shoot.
Lewis and Dorn, the extra DBs, is now. The Oilers go second down and 10 to give it to Alan Pinkett. He weaves his way up the middle to the 19-yard line. The Raiders, remember this quick runner from Notre Dame. He beat the Raiders in overtime the last time, 2 times ago in '88 when they played here. Ran it in from 20 yards out, and the Oilers beat the Raiders 37-35 in '88.
Of course, the Houston Oilers have a holdout named Lorenzo White. He was the super back in this run and shoot last year because of the holdout. Alan Pinkett had a lot of snaps in the summer. Training camp feels that he is now able to compete in the run and shoot.
Third down. Warren Moon and the Oilers need 4. They give him time. Starts to run out of it. Then he makes the delivery over the middle. Drew Hill, the former L.A. Ram. Hook pattern inside. Eddie Anderson, the free safety, knocks him down. But Drew Hill gets to where he had to go for a Oiler first down.
From behind the defense, you can see 99 Winston Moss is the only linebacker in there. Good protection by the Houston Oilers offensive line. These run and shoot receivers, Don, on every single play run option routes. They adjust the pattern on the fly. An extremely difficult offense to defense once the receivers are down the field.
Drew Hill, soon to be 35 years old, but he's still at the top of his game as Alan Pinkett weaves up the middle and gets out to the 35-yard line. Pinkett told us at the team practice on Friday that this is an offense that really gives a running back a chance to break some big runs because the defense has to look pass.
Again, you see the way the defensive line is spread by that offensive line of the Houston Oilers because they're all setting up in the pass set. On every single snap, the defense has to think pass first. Then you can sneak a little guy like Alan Pinkett behind that line for 6-7 yards at a crack.
Second down now for the Oilers. They need 2. Opening drive of the game. Raiders jam the front.
Audible.
Warren Moon changes the play call and loops a timing pattern downfield. Henry Jeffries, the call for the receiver for the Houston Oilers, makes the catch. He's out to the 45-yard line on 2nd and 2. He gets 10 and a first down.
Now, I tell you, in the offseason here in the NFL, a lot of defensive coordinators got together and tried to figure out a way to stop this run and shoot. You could see the audible at the line of scrimmage by Warren Moon. Raiders up and bump and run. 9 guys at the line of scrimmage. They throw the little alley-oop out to Jeffries for a first down. Everywhere you look, this offense can beat you as long as Houston's able to perform in this offense and the people are healthy.
It's now first down and 10. If there's a weak corner, a weak pass defender in the secondary, the Oilers find it and they go after it play after play. Back to Pinkett, and again he responds for yardage, takes a hellacious hit, and Alan Pinkett, after taking the full brunt of Ronnie Lott coming up, gets ahead for a gain of 8 yards. So the Oilers, key to their offense, getting success running the ball when they do.
We will certainly document how the quarterback, you see Ronnie Lott come in there. Historically, one of the game's great hitters. He just flies in there at Alan Pinkett. Very happy to be in the silver and black. Actually had a better offer from the Minnesota Vikings, but his family said, no, you got to play for the silver and black of the Los Angeles Raiders.
They told us he almost went to the Vikings. They made a bigger financial offer, but he went back to Los Angeles. And now here's the handoff to Alan Pinkett on 2nd down and 2. And the best offense in the NFL, that of the Houston Oilers a season ago, looks like it again this year as they take the ball at a tough Raider defense and continue to pile up positive yards every down.
Yeah, and Don, this is not really the idea of the run and shoot. The idea of the run and shoot is we go to the line of scrimmage offensively, you go to the line of scrimmage defensively. You pick the defense. We'll then decide whether we want to run or whether we want to throw. Jack Pardee is a big proponent of the run and shoot. Ran it in the U.S. Football League, ran it at the University of Houston. It's going to be very difficult for him to ever get out of the run and shoot again.
So we see now that the Oilers need inches as Alan Pinkett is just short on the carry. The ball is positioned at the 45-yard line of the Raiders. Pardee, 13 years an L.A. Ram, many times a Pro Bowl player. Spent 15 years as an NFL linebacker, 2 with Washington. This is his 2nd year as head coach of the Oilers. They were 9-7, a playoff team under him a year ago. The Oilers are the only team in the American Conference to have made the playoffs the last 4 years. The only other team in the NFL that's done it is the 49ers. But they don't go far, Trump, when they get to the playoffs.
Yeah, they're always the wild card team, so they're always playing on the road, and they play 1 or 2 games and out.
Warren Moon calls his own number. And Moon takes it inside the 45-yard line for yet another Oiler first down. Winston Moss, outside backer 99, came in to make the hit for the Raiders.
Not as long as you're talking about the Houston Oilers. Were you impressed as I was impressed at the Oilers training camp the other day where they're talking Super Bowl? They want to win the division, and they feel they have the talent to go all the way. Warren Moon called a team meeting early in training camp and said, gentlemen, if we don't go there this year, they're going to break this team up. So let's really put forth the effort.
Well, they've got a lot of over 30 guys. Warren Moon among them at age 35, soon to be 36. Here's a quick throw. Ernest Givens coming off the right flank. Takes the ball on first down and gets ahead for a gain of almost 6 yards. A quick release by Ernest Givens. He's at his best after he catches the ball. Receiver from Louisville. Yeah, getting back to the Oilers' age, Trump, as they say, they're starting to run out of next year's.
Yeah,
this is an older team.
You're right. Warren Moon spent all those years up in Canada, and then comes down here. This is a perfect offense for Warren Moon. If it hadn't been for all the holdouts that the Houston Oilers had during training camp, they'd feel a lot better psychologically. But talent-wise, they feel they can go all the way to the Super Bowl.
2nd down and 4, and again Alan Pinkett on a quick draw is close to a first down. He'll be a yard short of it as Howie Long, now in his 11th season, makes the knockdown for the Raiders. The Raider defense rated 4th in the National Football League last year, but was taken apart by teams that could work the run and shoot. Buffalo won the playoff. They call it something different, no huddle, but it is a run and shoot.
Yes. That's the sprint draw. You saw all the offensive linemen set up like they were going to pass protect, and then Warren Moon rolled to Alan Pinkett, give him the ball. Well, this is typical of the Houston Oilers run and shoot in 1990. Move the chains, convert the third downs, just march right up and down the field, Don.
And this is 3rd down and short, 3rd down and a yard. Pinkett the setback. He's run well. He gets another chance in, and Pinkett out through the Raider defense and down to the 28-yard line. Not big, but very strong, and as you see, quick. Notre Dame's all-time leading rusher, Alan Pinkett, at 5'7", 190 pounds.
That's now the 12th play on this opening drive for the Houston Oilers. They frustrate defenses. No matter what you try to do, they frustrate the defense. You try to show blitz, they throw it behind you. You try to lay up on the pass, then they run the ball up there through the line of scrimmage. But boy, can they move the chains.
Raiders, as you know, Trump, have to get this thing settled down, because an early lead by the Oilers, they tend to keep going like they start. If they score early, that keeps going. You've got to get him to turn the ball over. Here's an out pattern. It's thrown high, but the receiver making the play is ruled out of bounds. Drew Hill goes way up. As we check the 10-minute ticker and look at scores around the National Football League on a day that some big quarterbacks have fallen. Randall Cunningham of the Eagles went down, out for the season, last report we got. New Orleans has held on to beat Seattle 27-24. Seattle lost its starting quarterback with a fractured thumb. Dave Craig went out. Cowboys beat the Cleveland Browns and their new coach Bill Belichick 26-14, and the Jets hold on to win. Steelers up on the San Diego Chargers 3-0. Last year, the Houston Oilers, in amassing the most passing yardage, got 77 of their...
Incomplete. The play is being reviewed.
77% of Houston's yardage last season came via passing. Today, they've thrown the ball 6 times, and they've run it 6 times.
Cal Lepore is the replay official. He's taking a look at it at the near sideline.
And 2nd down.
It is ruled an incomplete pass. Receiver could not hang on.
Oilers starting to get into long field goal range, but field goals for the Oilers, at least this day, could be an adventure. Jack Pardee has 2 guys who've never played in a National Football League regular season game as his punter and his place kicker. Ian Howfield's his place kicker, who was actually cut by a semi-pro team in Oklahoma. Came into Houston, though, and has been sensational. His dad kicked in the National Football League for Denver and the Jets. Here's a throw and a catch and a hard strike, but on 2nd and 10, the Oilers get the quick release inside from Ernest Givens, and he's ahead to the 21-yard line. Tackled by Lionel Washington.
We should see the entire pattern. Givens on the inside, and McDaniel has the single coverage on him. 36 breaks out. Actually, this is a zone by the Los Angeles Raiders. Again, those option routes by the receiver. Very, very difficult to defense when you have a high percentage thrower like Warren Moon. And the Los Angeles Raiders have now been on the field approaching 8 minutes in this opening drive.
We're down to 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score. This is the opening drive. 3rd down and 3. Pinkett nowhere to go. He turns to the outside, bounces inside, and Alan Pinkett, with guile and quickness, gets it on his own inside the 15-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Oilers. Eddie Anderson finally knocked him down. Pinkett getting his shot and looking good.
Yeah, in the run and shoot, you'll see single blocking up front all the time. They think their offensive 5 can stop your defensive 5 anytime they want. And, of course, a shifty little running back like Alan Pinkett really helps. You see Davis, 70, stands up the offensive tackle, and then Pinkett outruns Moss to the outside. Excellent moves. Nice 14-yard pickup.
This, Trump, is the 15th play of the drive, the opening drive of the game. 1st down and 10. The Oilers operating with pace and confidence against these tough Raiders. And here's Warren Moon. Quick out. Goes to Haywood Jeffries. He got a couple of yards before he was thrown back. Lionel Washington hit him, and a penalty marker comes in. Gary Lewis, 21, was also on the play. Jeffries caught 6 passes collectively in his first 2 years in the NFL. Came alive last year, caught 74.
Well, this is not a bad drive to start the season against what I consider one of the league's 2 or 3 best defenses in the Los Angeles Raiders. The Oilers have not come up with a real big play here, but I think that's the choice of Kevin Gilbride, their offensive coordinator.
Base pass by the defense. 5 yards, still first down.
As I was saying, the choice by Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator, Jack Pardee, move the chains against this defense. Let's leave an impression on that opening drive. And to this point, it started at the 14-yard line. They're now at the Raider 8. 16 plays. Goodness.
So for Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator, to the far left, behind the man in the red shirt chart he plays. Interesting play call. Pinkett, his fifth carry, he's going in. Touchdown Oilers. Pinkett, 8 carries for 48 yards in the drive and the touchdown.
There's no middle linebacker. Again, audible call, I believe, by the Houston Oilers. You saw Winston Moss, 99, at the right of your picture. There's nobody there. Extreme confidence in the offensive line up front. Just screen out those defensive line. Nothing fancy. Pinkett up there. Nobody touched it.
And here we have Ian Howfield trying the point after. His first kick in the NFL is no good. And so they gambled, and early on, Howfield has a problem. His kicker for the Oilers missed his first extra point attempt. We'll look again.
He's got a new holder, Miyotki. He just pushes the thing wide. Now, Ian Howfield, 12 months ago, was driving a forklift at a beer manufacturer. Been cut by everybody in the world.
Might have even been at a brewery, huh?
Might have been, yes, a brewery. Cut by the Oklahoma Twisters, and he makes this team. I don't understand it. This is a Super Bowl year. Why he's the choice at kicker?
Well, because Garcia kicked poorly last year. They had the lowest field goal percentage in the AFC. And Garcia had a poor preseason, a high spinning kickoff. It's a short one. Sam Grady, who can fly, takes it for the Raiders. He's cut down, though, just as he crosses the 20. Super fast Sam Grady didn't get much time to get up ahead of steam, and the Raiders are ready to go on offense.
We build excitement. By Coors Light, the Silver Bullet is the right beer now. By Xerex Antifreeze Coolant, the temperature never drops below Xerex. And by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Raiders, on the right, trying to get everybody on the same page, going, as you pointed out, Trump, with one linebacker. Alan Pinkett just ran up the gut the whole drive. Gained 48 yards, scored a touchdown on just 6 carries. Jay Schrader play fake, and the heat's on, and Raiders swept under inside the 15-yard line. All-Pro Ray Childress, a great player from Texas A&M, number 79, busted up and got him.
Who does not want to play defensive tackle. But here he is again at defensive tackle. Play action fake by Schrader, fools no one. It looks like Childress goes right inside Fitzpatrick, who is replacing Max Montoya, yes, and is right in the face of Schrader for an 8-yard loss. Not a good start.
A 9-yard loss, indeed not. Schrader, of course, coming off his best season, but his worst game was his last one, the one at Buffalo, the AFC Championship game. 5 interceptions. Now he throws a strike. Marcus Allen looking for room, gets out to the 18-yard line. On a 2nd and 19 play, there's a gain of about 6. Johnny Meads, number 91, made the hit, and one of the officials went down.
That's side judge Nate Jones. Richard Johnson hit him, and hit him square. Goodness. Certainly unintentional on Johnson's part, but just following the play. Good. Nate's moving around.
Usually it's the umpire, the guy who gets popped. Right now there's a break in the action. We pause for this word. Dome, where the Oilers lead the Raiders 6-0 in the first quarter. A break in the action because head linesman Sid Seaman was taken down. An inadvertent hit as he was trying to adjudicate a play there, and next thing he saw was the top of the Astrodome from flat in his back.
Yeah, it was away from the play. Richard Johnson, the defensive back from Houston, is the guy who made contact, and Richard was over there making sure that Sid is okay. Jack Pardee checking him out, and the Houston Oilers doctors checking the collarbone and the shoulder joint.
So the continuing injury dilemma in the NFL goes to another level now. We have officials that go on the IR.
It doesn't look like they want Sid to continue.
It's Bob Rosenfeld, the Raiders surgeon, walking him off. New Orleans beat Seattle today, coming from behind to do it. Kansas City opens with a 14-3 win over the Falcons. The Philadelphia Eagles beat Green Bay, but lost their quarterback Randall Cunningham for the season. Jim McMahon was superb in relief. The Cowboys beat the Browns at Cleveland. The Jets rallied to beat Tampa Bay 16-13. In the first quarter, Marino's thrown for a touchdown at Buffalo. Dolphins up on the Bills 7-0. Steelers with a 3-0 lead over San Diego. Vikings up on the Bears at Soldier Field 3-0. Denver has gone in front 7-0 on the Bengals at Denver. Phoenix, an underdog, opening up with a 14-0 lead on the Rams at Anaheim. And New England, after leading 7-0, now locked up in a 7-7 tie with the Colts at Indianapolis. So the head linesman is sidelined. And the Raiders are ready to go now with 3rd down and 13 coming up from the Raiders' 19-yard line. Oilers lead the game 6-0. They miss the extra point. Quick drop by Schrader. Again, the big rush. Firing on the run. He's picked off. Bubba McDowell runs the ball back. He's not done yet. A former All-American at Miami of Florida. And they're going to spot his forward progress at the Raider 38-yard line. So things started bad for Schrader, sacked on his first passing attempt, and they get worse as he throws the INT, and the Oilers have the ball back.
On the Raiders, coaches Mike White and Jay Schrader talked to us before the game, and they all mentioned that the reason that Jay Schrader last year threw just 9 interceptions is that he didn't try to make a play like that. Cardinal sin of a quarterback. Throw the ball late down the middle. Excellent pressure by the Houston Oilers defense. They got a 3 wide receiver set here. There's nobody open. Childress again in Schrader's face. Now watch. Late down the middle. A big no-no in the NFL. So last year he throws 9 in 16 games, and the 1991 season starts with an interception.
The Oilers take over and on the Raiders side of the field with the turnover. Out of the 38-yard line. Moon, quick sprint and a drop, and an open receiver again is Drew Hill on the far sideline. Takes the ball, gets inside the 35-yard line and down to the Raider 30. Gary Lewis chasing him with the quickness and elusiveness of this array of Oiler receivers has been too much for the Raiders, at least early in the game.
Watch the quarterback. Never sets up in the same spot. Little sprint to the left. Gibbons just runs the quick out. That's now the 17th offensive play that the Houston Oilers have run in this first quarter. The Raiders have run 3. A sack, a short gain, and an interception.
Now the fastest Oilers on the field. Tony Jones is the lower portion of the screen. A sprinter from Texas. Here's a handoff to Pinkett as he tries to cut back, and a marker comes in from the referee. Terry McDaniel is on the stop for the Raiders.
Holding against Houston, the most penalized team in the NFL in 1990.
Game clock down to 3:42 to play in the first quarter.
In the run, number 73 on the offense, still 2nd down.
David Williams, the right tackle, call for holding, so the Oilers are set back. Williams was a #1 draft choice from the University of Florida and is now playing ahead of Dean Steinkuhler, who was still is a very vital part of the Oiler offensive line, but Williams has beaten him out. Second down and 10 for the Oilers, who lead the game in the first quarter 6-0 on a touchdown run by Alan Pinkett. Extra point no good. Moon lets it fly long. Out there is the super fast Tony Jones, but a fine defensive play by Lionel Washington, who was beaten, then recovered and knocked it away. Now for a report on the rest of the opening day, let's go to Marv Albert.
All right, Don, and the big NFL story. Earlier today on this play, Eagles quarterback Randall Cunningham suffered torn ligaments in his left knee. The latest word, he'll undergo an MRI examination as soon as possible. If surgery is required, it probably means he's out for the season. With Jim McMahon at quarterback, the Eagles beat Green Bay 20-3. Back to Don and Bob.
Thank you, Marv. Jim McMahon throwing for 2 touchdowns, coming in for Randall Cunningham in that game. Now for the Oilers, it's 3rd down and 11. Ball's position at the Raiders 39. Big rush by the Raiders. Penalty marker down. As the ball, a hard thrown one by Warren Moon, skips off the receiver and incomplete. Might be a hold. Raiders really jammed up, and now they're going to call the Raiders for leaving early on the pass rush.
And the Raiders are continuing with their 4-1-6 set.
On the defense, it's still 3rd down.
That was Greg Townsend, 93, Red Cashin said. The Raiders are continuing with the 4-1-6 set. You see Ronnie Light up at the line of scrimmage. Moss, 99, but that's still 4 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker, Moss, and 6 defensive backs. It's been tough for the Houston Oilers to get the ball down the field, but they have moved it.
3rd down and 5 now. Closer to 4 for the Oilers. Moon stands in, delivers the ball. It's going to be close to a 1st down. It appears the receiver was there to get it. Ernest Givens, number 81. McDaniel and Locke closed in, but Givens again finds a spot in the Raiders secondary for a 1st down.
The most impressive part about this Houston Oilers offense to this point, they are 4 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. You see Lott sitting in there in the middle. McDaniel sitting in there in the middle. Givens just stops in the middle of the zone. Again, the option route. And this defense cannot stop this offense the way it's performing to this point.
Moon having completed 7 of 10 now for 48 yards. First down play. Again to Pinkett. Hard pop delivered. And Pinkett got ahead for just 2 yards. Now they're keying on Pinkett. He was running free on those traps and draws that opening drive when the Oilers went down the field. 17 plays, and Pinkett took it in. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Art Shell feeling this is a Raider team that can go the distance. Both these teams very optimistic about where they're headed this year. This game could tell a big story. Raider offense been on the field once and did nothing. Schrader was sacked his 1st down and then threw an interception. Here's a screen play. Pinkett looking for room, and he's inside the 15-yard line. Alan Pinkett this time on the quick screen pass. Eludes tacklers. Gets ahead for a 1st down.
Don, that appears to be a new aspect. This is almost the shovel pass. See Pinkett go up there and set. It's a pass. He just sets right behind the offensive tackle. And then again, another aspect of the run and shoot, they try to get a lot of one-on-one tackling. Everybody's covering the receivers downfield, man-to-man coverage. Pinkett comes through there. One guy's got to get him down. Well, this offense looks well-oiled.
Is indeed. Greg Townsend was the man who finally ran him down, but he did it 12 yards downfield. Another 1st down for Houston. Throwing on the run. There was a free ball in the end zone, incomplete, as Warren Moon tried to deliver to Drew Hill. McDaniel covering.
I would say Warren Moon is extremely accurate with this throw. Drew Hill was not even looking up, and the ball hit him in the helmet. Watch this thing. You talk about accuracy, boink. I mean, that'll win you a Cupid doll at any county fair I've been to. You can't throw it any better than that. Stick it in his face mask. Maybe he'll carry it into the end zone. I don't know. Goodness.
That tells the story. Scores only 6-0, at least at the moment, as the Oiler offense has dominated the game. Oiler defense hasn't been out there long enough to break a sweat. 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. Second down and 10. Alan Pinkett still running. Down to the 5-yard line. He got 8. Doran Doran, number 46, knocked him down. Munchak, the all-pro left guard, blasted open a hole. 63.
Pinkett breaks that first tackle through the line of scrimmage. I think this is Moss, 99. Yeah, there's the tackle. He breaks, dives forward. The young man who increased his weight training this year, as this quarter is about to end with the Los Angeles Raiders having 3 snaps at it and trailing 7-0. This is not what they envisioned for their opening game.
That'll do it for Jack Pardee's Oilers in the first quarter. They owned it, and they've taken a 6-0 lead. We'll be back to the Astrodome in a moment. 6-0 Oilers at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. The run-and-shoot offense of the Houston Oilers has dominated this game, but Trump today, they've been running as much as shooting.
Well, I think that's one of the great aspects of the run and shoot. When everybody's healthy, you pick the defense, and the run and shoot has an aspect of the offense that they can employ against that defense. With the Los Angeles Raiders coming with the 4 down linemen, 1 linebacker, they're going to run. Pinkett is tricky enough to get through there. So far, completely owned by the Houston Oilers.
Last year, the Oilers got 77% of the yards on passing. Today, Alan Pinkett, though, has been a force that the Raider defense has not been able to contend with, and they're going to keep going to it until they stop it.
You're right. When the Los Angeles Raiders change their mind and say, all right, we've seen enough of Pinkett running it, let's see how they can throw it, then the run and shoot also has the aspect to start getting the ball down the field. Now, the only thing I can find wrong with this offense is when there is a major injury in it. Like Cody Carlson playing the playoff game against Cincinnati, it didn't work. But look at the first quarter stats. Total dominance by Houston.
Oilers threatening to go in again now as we open the second quarter. 3rd and 2 at the 5-yard line. Timing pattern. Is there a flag? There is. It'll be 1st and goal, Houston. Just can't cover these guys. Haywood Jeffries was the intended receiver.
Yeah, Eddie Anderson had the coverage, and it looks like he also came up lame. Doran Doran was there too, but there was certainly no question about the interference call. There were 3 flags on the ground. 1st and goal at the 1.
Pass interference. Number 46 on the defense. 1st down.
Jeffries on the inside. Doran knows he's beat at the outset. Got his left hand all over him. And a covey of yellow flags thrown at his feet.
So now it's 1st and goal for Houston. Pinkett. He's going over. Big open field play. As coming up to get him was Terry McDaniel. He had an open track to the end zone, and McDaniel got him with an arm ankle high.
You know, it's interesting here. It is 1st and goal at the 1. And the Houston Oilers run and shoot. Of course, they have no tight ends on their offense. They stay in the run and shoot formation. 4 wide receivers. And they just, again, rely on that offensive line to get it done. It looked like Ernest Gibbons tried to make a block there, just got in somebody's way.
Now we go to 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line of the Raiders. Early in the second quarter, 6-0 Houston. Pinkett over the top, and he didn't get there. Linesman comes in, is going to mark it inside the 1-yard line. Knows that the ball will be almost at the goal line. 3rd and inches. Howie Long was down the staff along with free safety Eddie Anderson.
Straight dive up the middle. See Drew Hill, 85, trying to go in there and get a shoulder pad on somebody, but this is where the run and shoot has problems. Inside the 20, at the goal line. With no tight ends, you can see how stingy that run defense of the Los Angeles Raiders was last year. They've already allowed one this year in the first quarter to Alan Pinkett.
Pinkett had an open track running right. This time Moon takes it in himself. And Warren Moon, with his 2nd carry of the game, is in for the touchdown.
Well, the Houston Oilers in 17 minutes of offense in the first game of the 1991 season have scored 2 rushing touchdowns, and the Raiders only allowed 4 in 16 games in 1990. The Oilers are having their way with the silver and black. Matthews at center. Big push. Warren Moon, a big quarterback, just kind of dives over the inline. Well,
now here's our man Ian Howfield coming back out. The free agent kicker who was last stop was the Oklahoma Twisters, a semi-pro team, and they cut him. Came here and he just kicked like Jan Stenerud in preseason.
Well, his hero is Nick Lowry of Kansas City, who was also cut by everybody but Dr. Spock.
Lowry, I think, was cut by 9 teams. Howfield's been cut by 7, but Howfield says the first day you're in a camp, you know if you even have a chance. He said this is the only place he's ever been where he came in and felt he had a chance if he kicked well. Every place else, they're just bringing another leg into camp.
Well, Jack Pardee must be a very competent head coach to take a totally unproven kicker and put him in an offense that has struggled inside the 20.
And it's a brand new holder, too, Frank Miotke, a wide receiver they brought in. Their punter and holder, Montgomery, is holding out. That time, Howfield delivers it up and through, and the Oilers extend their lead to 13-0 with 13:30 to play in the first half. Oilers kick off when we come back.
The history, the excitement of Notre Dame football. The Irish battle the Indiana Hoosiers. Saturday.
Warren Moon takes it up for the second touchdown of the game for Houston. And with the extra point, they extend their lead now to the Oilers to 13-0.
You can see the slant by the defense inside, but Bruce Matthews, an all-pro guard, excellent push. Warren Moon, the power back. Let's see, when this game started, he got a $2.2 million bonus for his performance from last year.
Yeah, an interesting scenario. Warren Moon's contract calls for him to be one of the 3 top paid quarterbacks in pro football. So when Marino signed his $20 or $25 million deal, Warren Moon immediately escalates because Warren Moon graded out among the top 3 last season. He goes from, what, $1.5 million to
3.7
to 3.7. Nice work.
Yeah, that's probably as long as he'll sit without a smile on his face for this entire year.
Sam Grady and Jamie Holland are back for the Raiders. A high spinning kickoff. It'll carry short. This is Jamie Holland to the 15 and the 20. Breaks it to the outside, and Holland is across the 30-yard line. So the Raiders, on their second possession, will start from their 31-yard line. Eugene Seal, 53 on the stop on special teams for the Oilers. Jay Schrader goes back out, but before he puts the ball in play, we'll stop for this word. Back at the Astrodome, Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy on opening day. The Raiders with just their second offensive possession, coming now with 13:20 to play in the first half. Oilers have scored both times they've had the ball. Big moment now for Schrader, Trump. He's got to get it cooking. He was intercepted on the Raiders' first possession. Pitch back to Marcus Allen. The Oilers sweep it under for a gain after a gain of about 1 yard. As we look now at the starting lineups on offense, Wilkerson, Wisniewski, Mosbar, Fitzpatrick, and Wright across the offensive front for Los Angeles. Schrader with Marcus Allen and Steve Smith as runners. Galton Fernandez, the wideouts. Ethan Horton at tight end. Jim Brown will come in as a third wide receiver. Right now they go with their basic set on 2nd down and 9. Oilers jam the front. 5 men up. Schrader looks for Marcus Allen and finds him, and Allen, as a penalty marker goes down, puts his shoulder down and gets ahead for a first down. He's out to the 43-yard line. Marker in the Raiders' backfield.
It's against the Raiders. Already in this 1991 season, Raiders face a key series here.
Holding during the pass. Number 73 on the offense. It's still 2nd down.
That's Fitzpatrick, and that's the second holding call he's had. He's over Ray Childress. He's replacing Max Montoya, who has a pulled groin muscle. But this key series for the Los Angeles Raiders, this is not a team that does well from behind. They like to bang the line of scrimmage and soften up the defense. Well, obviously, with just 4 or 5 plays to this point in the first half by the Raiders offense, that Houston Oilers defense very fresh.
There's William Fuller, 95. He's a big pass rusher from North Carolina. They got guys who can put the heat on. Tim Brown is now in the game. 3 wideouts on second down. Fuller puts the heat on Schrader, but he dumps it off to Marcus Allen. And still, 10 years later, Marcus Allen has all those good moves, but the gain here is going to be good for about 9 yards. Dishman and Lamar Lathan were on the stop.
Excellent job also by Bubba McDowell, 25, the strong safety. That was well defensed by Houston. You'll give up 7 or 8 yards when it's 2nd and 20. Personal foul, Houston. Well, that's an automatic first down. Certainly gets the Raiders out of a deep, deep hole.
First break of the game for the Raiders. Who returned to the playoffs last year after a 4-year absence. They felt the real difficulty they had that was continuing was the offensive line.
Roughness, number 57 on the defense. First down.
That's Lamar Lathan, the young man out of University of Houston in his 2nd season. You see Bubba McDowell does a good job, 25. Dishman, 28, a good job. Lathan with the extracurricular activity. Foot to the helmet. Very foolish. Not smart. You get him out of bounds. He gains 8 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and a whole bunch. You give him an automatic first down. Rookie mistake, even though he's a 2nd-year player.
First down and 10 Raiders. Oilers jammed the front. They saw something that looked like run, and they were right as they went right to the spot that Marcus Allen was headed to. So the Oiler defense certainly has the Raiders in target as we now go to New York for another update. Here's Marv.
Well, Don, it's been a rough day for quarterbacks on this play. Dave Krieg of Seattle suffered a broken right thumb in the game against New Orleans. According to the Seahawks, he will be out 8 weeks. Jeff Kemp finished up for Krieg. Seattle lost to New Orleans 27-24. Back to Don and Bob.
Thanks, Marv. Here at the Astrodome, it's 13-0 Raiders. 13-0 Raiders trail as they head the ball now 2nd down and 8. Schrader gets some time. There's a holding and there's no penalty. One of the most blatant holds I've ever seen, and the referee stood there and looked at it.
Yeah, Lee Williams was the attacker. Wilkerson was the offensive tackle. I agree with you.
Absolutely a blatant foul right in front of Red Cashin, who's one of the best.
It was late, way back by the quarterback. Lee Williams, formerly of San Diego, has a broken left hand.
It's unbelievable. Watch this.
Watch the right-hand side of the screen. You'll see it happen. There's 68. Got a hold of Lee Williams' arm. Cashin does not throw the flag. Oh, Bruce Wilkerson got away with one there.
So the Raiders now have 3rd down and 8 coming up. Schrader 2 for 4 for 13 yards. 1 interception. He's been sacked once. Marker down. Interception again. Again, the Oilers pick off Jay Schrader. This time it was a rookie from Arizona, number 29, Darrell Lewis. Yeah, but there was a marker down at the snap.
Yeah, it's not going to. Yeah. That's right. The play does not stand because Ethan Horton, the tight end, broke out of his stance. Dead ball foul. Play does not stand.
False start. Number 88 on the offense. It's still 3rd down. Before the snap.
So the Raiders were fortunate that Ethan Horton left early.
Well, let's see. To this point, I think Schrader's completed more to them than he has to us, right?
He's got 2 each way.
Watch 88. Before the snap, dead ball, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down. A penalty the Raiders are more than happy to take.
One of the areas that Jay Schrader improved in last year was in his throw selection. He was throwing the ball away rather than forcing it in. That's how he cut down on his interceptions. Today, he's been trying to force it in. He has a tough call now, 3rd down and 13. Going for the distance. Man is open, but the ball is too long. Tim Brown had 5 yards on the corner. But Jay Schrader overthrew him by 5. And so it's a long out.
Boy, that was Richard Johnson in coverage, and he should feel fortunate. Tim Brown gave him the out move and then went up. And that's the only thing that the Raiders could do. A little overthrown. Kim Helton, offensive line coach, formerly of the Houston Oilers, talking to Jay Schrader there. Kim Helton can help them with this defense. He coached the offensive line here for several years.
Pat Coleman is back now for Jeff Gossett's punt. There's Coleman, a sprinter from Ole Miss.
Going after it.
Man, they almost got it, but the kick is away. Here comes Coleman. And in his wisdom, he bails out as the pursuit was there. But the Raiders fail to get points, and the Oilers have the ball when we come back.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. By Miller Lite, it's it and that's that. By the Upjohn Company, if you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. And by MetLife, get Met, it pays.
In the Astrodome, the Houston Oilers run-and-shoot offense has been putting up the points and the numbers. Warren Moon has thrown the ball 12 times, completed 8 for 60 yards. He ran for a touchdown from 2 yards out on a keeper. Now he goes first down and 10. Strong of arm, Warren Moon fires the out, gets it up for a 4-yard gain to Curtis Duncan.
On that first snap, the Raiders came with an extra linebacker. You hear us refer to when you're looking at the run and shoot, the count zone. The first aspect of the count zone, the quarterback goes to the line of scrimmage, counts the guys from tackle to tackle defensively. What you saw in the first quarter and a half was 5 in the box. 5 in the box, the run and shoot runs. Now, if the Raiders go to a different set, like 7 in the box or 6 in the box, then generally the run and shoot throws. Now the Raiders are coming with 6 in the box. You can see the 2 linebackers, both Moss and Robinson, probably throw.
2nd and 6. Pinkett looks for room. This time the Raiders have him zeroed in, and they cut him down to the 32-yard line. Coming up to make the play was the veteran Jerry Robinson, who was cut and then recalled, number 57 for Los Angeles.
They should have thrown. I also see Aaron Wallace in there, an extra linebacker. There's Kevin Gilbride. He's trying to hide the signals, tell Warren Moon. When everybody's healthy, and especially in a dome stadium where weather's not a factor, well, this is a defense. This is an offense that just drive defenses, players, and coordinators nuts. And the Oilers are doing it today to the Raiders.
3rd down. Moon and the Oilers need a long 4.
Should run.
Warren Moon does, but he didn't get there. The Raiders got him just before he got to the yard marker. So that brings up 4th down. And a rarity in Oiler football in recent times, a punt is coming up. They're close enough to measure.
Yeah, they're going to measure. Again, the count said run. Warren Moon's choice was to throw, and I'm surprised there wasn't a flag there. You know, Warren Moon sliding feet first is supposed to be afforded the luxury of just let me slide. Nobody hit me.
See what the yard marker shows. Warren Moon got it by the length of the football. So the Oilers keep the drive alive. Their punter, Greg Montgomery, last year was the best punter in the National Football League from a yardage standpoint. 45 yards to qualify for the league lead in it because he didn't punt it enough times. Now they've got Kent Sullivan in here, a young free agent from Cal Lutheran. As Montgomery holds out, he wants to be paid as the top punter in the league.
Don, Oilers are now 7 for 7 on 3rd down conversions,
which is extraordinary. Moon dumps it off. There's Tony Jones. An interesting story. 5'6". He was a basketball player at the University of Texas. He can dunk a ball. He's the fastest Oiler. And they say it's not just barely dunking it. He slam dunks it at 5'6".
Yeah,
smallest player in the league, 138 pounds.
He was good friends with Gerald McNeil when Gerald McNeil was here. About the same size, 5'6", 5'7", 135, 136. Marty Schottenheimer refers to Tony Jones as warp speed Jones.
He really, it's almost hard to believe a guy can go down the field that fast. Right now at the lower portion of the screen. Washington's against him as again they go to Pinkett. Now the Raiders are starting to figure out Alan Pinkett. And those draws up the middle as we'll check the 10-minute ticker and look at the scoreboard around the league. It's 13-0 here at the Astrodome. New Orleans a 3-point winner over Seattle. Kansas City wins its opener at home against the Falcons. Philadelphia winner at Green Bay. Dallas over Cleveland. The Jets beat Tampa Bay. Buffalo just scored in a Kelly pass. It's 14-7 Miami. Steelers up by 7 on San Diego. New England an underdog. Last 2 games they've won, though, have been over the Colts, and they're leading at Indianapolis. Warren Moon takes a deep drop. Open is Tony Jones. He just flew by the defense, and he's out of bounds inside the Raider 20-yard line. Lionel Washington was victimized.
That's now 12 first downs for the Houston Oilers. That's 8 for 8 in third down conversions. A 33-yard reception. This is zone. Now, Washington is supposed to have help out there. A safety is supposed to be out there to protect the deep outside third. Nobody gets there. Another first down for the Houston Oilers. Amazing.
And long distance, a 33-yard gain for the Oilers.
Don, we've seen this offense function last year, but never against a quality opponent like this at this level.
Now, this is its second year. Last year, Pardee put the whole system in, and it still was the #1 offense in the NFL. And apparently it's going to be substantially improved this year. Moon hands off to Pinkett. Hit behind the line of scrimmage by Davis. He manages to keep his balance and get down close to the 21-yard line. Aaron Wallace finally finished off Alan Pinkett.
And you can already see the fatigue setting in the Raider defense. A lot of guys hands on hips. The Astrodome is a very warm place to play, and this Raider defense has been on the field this entire first half. Everything's working for the Houston Oilers. Nothing is working for the Los Angeles. Look at them all standing there trying to catch their breath. They survive they don't survive a 16-play drive, and now this drive is up around 10 right now.
This is the 8th play of this drive now as Warren Moon looks it into the end zone. Open man. Looked like a foul, but no penalty marker in. The timing was just right as Gary McDaniel put the hit on Givens, protesting he was fouled. We'll watch it again. It looked like he might be right.
Yeah, looked like a push. You can see Givens gets by McDaniel, and in a foot race, I'll take Ernest Givens. Watch just at the goal line if there's not a hand in his back.
Yeah, looked pretty clean on the replay.
His right hand was up there. Givens was complaining, but here's another to the right. Let's see if we can see the contact. No, better the other angle, but no foul, so it's 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 it is. Ball at the 21-yard line of the Raiders. Motion from the right side. David Williams set in position early. He moved before the snap. It's no play.
Also looked like the defensive end Townsend moved too. Offsides defense. Well,
Big Art Shell not at all pleased. Raiders felt all the ingredients were in place to go the distance this year, and they still may be, but so far in this game, the Houston Oilers look like the AFC Super Bowl team. Last year, the Oilers #1 in the NFL in pass offense and in total offense, even though they were 24th in running the ball. So great was their pass offense. They led the league in first downs and average yards per play.
Offsides. Defense. Still 3rd down.
Only one team scored more last season than the Oilers. That was Buffalo. Art Shell's success with the Raiders last season was built on defense, and that was one of his best. Greg Townsend, who went to the Pro Bowl after a 12.5 sack season.
very difficult to sack the quarterback of the run and shoot, though. Watch. You'll see Townsend come across. Well, I'm not sure. It looks like David Williams begins to rock back too. But they call it on the defense. And, of course, replay cannot overturn or look at any penalties.
Good point, because it appeared to be very definitely Williams who was at fault. third down. Fires and the ball is tipped and incomplete. Well done by Jerry Robinson, who's made a couple of good defensive plays. Intended receiver was Curtis Duncan. And now an interesting time, Trump, for Ian Howfield.
Out there with his buddy Frank Miotke. His first field goal attempt in the NFL, missed his first extra point, made his second. And all three of those makes at field goal in the preseason were in the same game. I'm sure he's got moths the size of albatrosses in his stomach right now.
Try to get him flying in formation, those butterflies, as he spins it up and gets it through. Ian Howfield hits the field goal. And so after a tough start, he missed his first extra point try. The rookie hits his second extra point try now, his first field goal attempt, and Houston is in command of the Raiders. 16-0 is the score. There's a former Golden Domer, Alan Pinkett, who scored today the first touchdown for the Oilers as Houston kicks off again. Here comes Sam Grady, an Olympic gold medalist as a relay runner in the '84 games. And Grady takes the ball across the 20-yard line out to the 22.
Look at this. If you just tuned in, that is not a mistake on your screen. 36 offensive plays to 8. And the Raiders, they don't even know what they can do yet offensively. They haven't been out there enough to really figure it out. Time of possession, 20-21 for the Oilers, 4-12 for the Raiders.
Oilers getting some standout defensive play from their down linemen. They've been dominating the Raider front. Quick throw, and the completion is made as Mervyn Fernandez gets his first catch of the game. Fernandez coming off another big year for the Raiders. He turned out on Richard Johnson and got ahead for a gain of about 7 yards.
Now the problem with this offense is that in its wildest form, they bring in Tim Brown as a third wide receiver. They stay with Steve Smith and Marcus Allen in the backfield. They try to stay very much within themselves. And trailing at this point, start with 3 wide receivers and stay with 3 wide receivers until you get something going, Don.
Schrader sometimes likes to go deep on 2nd and 3, but this time he goes to the run, and Marcus Allen working hard gets only a yard as he lost his footing. Schrader told us the Raiders, who love the deep ball and have for the entire history of the franchise, usually like to go to it on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. That's how they set it up. Or 2nd, actually, 2nd and 3rd.
Good lead block by Steve Smith, but Marcus Allen has a little trouble with his footing there. Meads 91 on the tackle. Bubba McDowell on the tackle. Stat I like about Marcus Allen, he and Roger Craig have close to 900 receptions in the NFL between them.
Marcus also has the Triple Crown. Won a Heisman Trophy, was an MVP of the NFL, and an MVP of a Super Bowl. I don't think anybody else has done that. As Allen slashes through on 3rd and short, he gets ahead for a gain of 7 yards. So the Raider offensive blocking comes alive, and Marcus Allen shoots through the gap. Oiler coaches all talking about his great vision.
Well, let's see. There's 4:18 to go in the first half, and the Raiders just got their first down. How about that? This is a potent offense, too.
Ronnie Lott advised the Raiders, if we do get behind this big play offense, the way you beat it is you keep playing hard. Just keep playing hard and things turn around. They've gotten behind it now. Almost a pick as Fernandez turned in. Raiders threw out, and the nearest man to the ball was Richard Johnson, who led the American Conference in interceptions. Number 23 did with 8 last season.
Miscommunication by someone. Looked like Schrader was throwing the hitch or throwing the out, and Fernandez runs the hitch. Watch what happens. He's looking at the defensive back. The ball is already in the air, and by the time Fernandez turns his head around, Schrader was expecting the out.
Another good second look. Our producer today for NBC Sports is Victor Frank. Our director, Richard Klein. Executive producer, Terry O'Neill. As the Raiders looking to get on the board. Trailing 16-0 late in the second quarter. Marcus Allen again weaves his way into the Oiler defense. On 2nd and 10, he got 4. Al Smith, the middle backer, got him.
Marcus was telling us last night that as an underclassman, he lived in an apartment with Ronnie Lott and Dennis Smith, the strong safety of the Denver Broncos, and he said, I had to suffer by sleeping in the living room. And Ronnie Lott piped in and said, wait a minute, son, that was on a water bed in the living room. It wasn't that bad.
There's his roommate on the sideline waiting to come back on the defensive side for the Raiders. One of Lott's closest friends also is Warren Moon, the Oilers quarterback.
Blitz.
Raiders pick it up. Long ball. Man is open. The Raiders will go the distance. As the throw to Willie Gault is right on the numbers, and the Raiders strike big and get back in the game. 59 yards.
Darrell Lewis was the man in coverage. A rookie defensive back for the Houston Oilers. Boy, they have done this for 30 years. You know that? Bang at the line of scrimmage and throw it to a guy with super speed. And certainly Willie Gault has world-class speed. They catch the Oilers in a blitz. You see 57 Latham right in Schrader's face. Watch Willie Gault. He doesn't see Dishman. Slows down. Oh, then he hears footsteps, picks it up a little bit. 6 points on 59 yards. Watch him slow down. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Boy, Art Shell would have made him run back to Los Angeles if he gets caught before he gets in the end zone there.
The extra point by Jaeger is drilled up and good. So the Raiders get back in the game as the long ball specialist Willie Gault takes the pitch from Jay Schrader, and it's a 16-7 game Houston. Willie Gault, who's averaged almost 21 yards of reception throughout his career, takes one in from Jay Schrader and completes a 59-yard scoring play.
Darrell Lewis, the rookie defensive back, one of the young guns for the Houston Oilers, was the man in coverage. Schrader knows he's got it right on the money. Yeah, important to Schrader after that interception on the opening drive. Very important to the Raiders.
The words of Ronnie Lott, just keep playing hard. Oilers still are in the lead 16-7 as you see Schrader's numbers. Very fortunate not to have a second interception. It was negated by an offside before the snap by one of his teammates. Here's the kick to Pat Coleman of the Oilers. Good special teams play. Coming down to make the play for the LA Raiders was Aaron Wallace, number 51. And there's a penalty marker down. Red Cash into huddle now with his officials. 2:34 left to play in the first half. At halftime, we'll be going to Marv and his new companions in the booth. In the studio today at NFL Live, Bill Parcells joining NBC Sports, and Will McDonough joining Marv Albert as we'll update opening day 1991.
I wonder how Parcells feels sitting in that studio, so far removed from a football game and decisions and player personnel moves, and
probably never felt better.
We have unnecessary roughness both ways. Number 81 and number 93. Penalties offset. It'll be first down from a dead ball spot.
Rick Graff, Plan B acquisition of former Miami Dolphin. Number 93. Warren Moon has hit 11 of 17 passes for 103 yards, and he's really moved the ball around.
Another aspect of the run and shoot. He's completed passes to 6 different receivers. And this team carries 8. They also carry 8 offensive linemen, no tight ends. I was thoroughly disgusted yesterday at practice when I saw Leon Seals running tight end for the Houston Oilers. What is going on? Leon Seals?
Actually, you saw Eugene
Seals, excuse me, at tight end.
They don't have tight ends. They got to work with somebody. Here's a throw and a catch over the middle. And good for a first down as Drew Hill runs the down and in and beats the defender. Ronnie Lott brought him down, but it's another big gain for the Oilers as they get the ball ahead for 16 yards. Drew Hill, a remarkable little player from Georgia Tech. He's not going to be 35, he said, until November.
Yeah, again, now the Raiders' choice is to go with 4 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker only. This time it's Jerry Robinson, 57, behind the defensive line of scrimmage you see there, and 6 defensive backs.
2 minutes to play. The 2-minute warning, and the Oilers continue to lead the game 16-7.
After
Adolph, defensive coordinator, a former Cleveland Brown defensive coordinator.
Yeah, this is a very tough way to judge your defense when you play against the run and shoot. When they have days like this or a half like this, you pretty much just have to go in at halftime and say, well, keep at it, gentlemen. There's not much else we can do. The 4-1-6 choice by the Los Angeles Raiders has not worked. Alan Pinkett has run the ball very, very well. They're still able to throw the ball down the field. Hill has 3 catches, Gibbons 3, Jones 2, Duncan 1, Pinkett 1, Jeffries 1. Time of possession. There's the offensive coordinator, Kevin Gilbride. And the run and shoot is on target so far in this first half.
Alive and well. First down and 10 now for Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers. The draw to Alan Pinkett. He can take some licks. Not big. Scott Davis popped him. Also hit hard on the play by Greg Townsend, and Anderson came up.
From behind the offense, the sprint draw again. Watch Matthews block 74 on Jerry Robinson. Absolutely consumes Jerry Robinson as the Raiders go right back to the line of scrimmage here.
A no-huddle offense. They've been working on this. This is the first we've seen it from scrimmage. They did not use it in a game in preseason. Here's a throw and a catch, and a good for a first down. As the game clock now very much a factor, it's down to 1:20 to play in the first half and running.
Yeah, I think this is an aspect of the offense. It's just that 2-minute offense. But we are aware that they will at some time this year go no-huddle run and shoot. That might be illegal. I'm not sure.
Minute to play in the first half. On first down, Warren Moon with a deep drop and a long ball. Incomplete, very nearly picked off. Curtis Duncan was running the fly pattern, and defending against him was number 48, Lionel Washington, who almost had an interception.
See, when you can find the single coverage and outside it's Washington on Duncan, that's where the run and shoot will go. Lott is there, but he thinks that Washington's going to make the interception, so Ronnie Lott stays back. Comment about Ronnie Lott. You know, when he comes to your football team, instant credibility. You listen to what he says every time he says it.
Headed to Canton down the line. First team is all-pro as both a safety and a cornerback. Here's a throw over the middle. Incomplete. Talking about Bill Parcells, he said Ronnie Lott is the second best defensive player of this era. He said he believes his own linebacker, Lawrence Taylor, was the best.
I think a lot of people have forgotten one Dick Butkus, probably because he played on a very poor football team, but you can't mention defense without including Mr. Butkus. You know that?
Best I ever saw.
But of this generation of player, yeah, Lott is right up there.
Lawrence Taylor's been to the Pro Bowl 10 straight years, but Lawrence Taylor has had bad seasons, not just bad games. But when the bigger the game, he wins them. Down to the 37-yard line. Drew Hill makes the catch. Penalty marker down in the Oiler backfield.
It's against Houston. There was a lot of talk about the number of penalties that the Houston Oilers had last year, leading the league in penalties. I think when you throw the ball as much as Houston does, last season 639 times.
Holding during the pass, number 78 on the offense. It's still third down.
That's Don Maggs. Having all those penalties on the offense when you throw the ball 639 times, I don't know if it's that big a negative. I mean, they had some unsportsmanlike conduct and personal fouls last year that were dumb. But when you throw it 639 times, you're going to lead the league in penalties every year.
Maggs, the left tackle, with a penalty call against him. That's significant because I don't believe he had a penalty call against him all of last season. Very efficient.
That's saying something. When all the pass protection these guys do.
He's at left tackle. He gets all the big rushers. Third down and 20 with just 38 seconds to play. And Warren Moon takes the brunt of the Raider rush. Greg Townsend is through to get the sack. Now the Raiders want a timeout.
Timeout number 1, the Raiders. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
Yeah, with 33 seconds left, I'm sure now Art Shell is getting together with his coaching staff. Let's go after this punt. Although you have one of college football's greatest game breakers back there returning punts, and Tim Brown. You see the good bull rush by the Los Angeles Raiders. Everyone in a bull rush. Davis, Townsend, gets to Moon. You got a tough choice here. Do you go after this punt? I mean, this is the first punt this kid's going to kick in the NFL. Why not try to shake him up a little bit? Go after him.
Kent Sullivan, the free agent rookie from Cal Lutheran. Up in Thousand Oaks, California, where he grew up watching the Cowboys summer train there. There's Tim Brown.
Now the Raiders have 10 guys at the line of scrimmage. They have 8 up around the punt snapper.
They're going after it. 33 seconds to play. Sullivan gets it away, a wobbler that forces Tim Brown into a fair catch. So a job well done by Sullivan against an all-out rush. He gets the kick away and forces Tim Brown into a fair catch. 33-yard punt, 33 yards net, which is what's most important. Next week, the National Football League goes to week 2 on NBC Sports. The Steelers head into Buffalo to play the Bills. Bills currently behind Miami 14-7 in the first half. Among the 4 o'clock games, the Chargers go against the 49ers at San Francisco. Good luck to the Chargers. Denver against the Raiders in what's always a war. Their first of 2 regular season meetings, that'll be at the Coliseum. First down. Here's a throw by Schrader and a fine reception, good for a first down as the ball is taken in by Tim Brown. A rocket throw. Brown held it.
Timeout by the Raiders
with 21 seconds to play.
And of course now the mindset of Houston, this is the prevent situation, and that is you make sure that no receiver gets deeper than you are. Most teams play total zone. Jim Eddy, the defensive coordinator of the Houston Oilers, he was worried sick about his defense. They had 4 starters today who had a week or less practice in the summer. So he was worried sick as to what this defense was going to be like. Well, the best defensive play that Jim Eddy has had today has been the offense of the Houston Oilers. Yeah, they just have not been tested to this point. One rookie mistake by Darrell Lewis allowing Willie Gault to get behind him.
There's been a marked change in momentum in this game. The Oilers owned it, just dominated the Raiders. Now the game is swung towards the Raiders, although they trail 16-7. Their last possession, Schrader hit Willie Gault wide open, a 59-yard scoring play. Now with 21 seconds left, it's 1st and 10. Schrader again drills a fastball, and that's almost picked off. Dishman was over there, and so was rookie Darrell Lewis. This Lewis looks like a big-time player. He did have 1 interception today that was negated because there was a man offside at the snap. A Raider was offside, Ethan Horton.
Yeah, I thought Jim Eddy's comment about the defensive backs, that they've got 4 of them. And he said, we've got 4 good young defensive backs, Darrell Lewis being one of them. He said, they're small. I want to warn you now, they are very small. Great hitters, good workers, very willing students. So they think a lot of Darrell Lewis.
Raiders were not a good passing team a season ago. They were 23rd in the NFL overall in passing out of 28. Schrader takes a deep drop, 2nd down. Here's a ball thrown to Fernandez. It's off target, and it'll be 3rd down and 10 with 11 seconds to play. So the Raiders need the long ball completion to get in field goal range for Jaeger.
Hand signals by Terry Robisky. He is the offensive coordinator for this team. Well, there's a lot of hand signaling going on there for one play coming in, Don.
There's Vince Evans, the backup quarterback. And the number 3 quarterback, the rookie, Todd Marinovich.
You know, this crowd is very quiet for their team leading 16-7 in the first half and totally dominating. Not much cheering.
This can be a long ball. 3rd down and 10 with 11 seconds to play. Big rush. Schrader lets it fly, and again he's way off target. And not happy with himself. That takes, with 5 seconds left, 4th down comes up, so all they've got to go now is just throw it the distance. And this is a guy who can throw it the distance.
Sure you want to do that?
What else can you do?
Well, but I'm thinking if somehow the clock doesn't start quick enough and there's a tick left, the Houston Oilers get it there. But I guess that's the best thing to do. Just the Hail Mary. Well, they're going to take a timeout there.
Terry Robisky signaling for Schrader to call a time. 5 seconds to play in the first half. At 16-7, the Houston Oilers lead the Raiders. As we look at the scoreboard, early finals today, as you heard, Randall Cunningham went out. Philadelphia quarterback out for the season with a knee injury that will require surgery. Cleveland loses its opener under new coach Bill Belichick. Miami leading favorite Buffalo at the half. Steelers up on the Chargers. Bears up on Minnesota on a Harbaugh touchdown pass. Denver routing Cincinnati at the half. Elway having a big day. Phoenix upsetting the Rams at halftime at Anaheim. Tom Tupa, the backup quarterback who's taken over for injured Rosenbaugh, threw for a touchdown and ran for one for the Cardinals. And the Patriots lead the Colts at Indianapolis.
What did I read in the paper this morning? That the Indianapolis Colts are 0 for Indianapolis on opening day. 0 for 7.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now the last play of the first half, or so we think, with 5 seconds left. Schrader drops back. And here it goes. Everybody's out there. It does draw a crowd. It's in the air and it's on the ground, incomplete. And that will do it for the first 2 quarters of play. So the Oilers, after dominating play and building up a 16-0 lead, will go to the locker room, leading the Los Angeles Raiders 16-7. So far, so good for Coach Jack Pardee and his Oilers. But a lot more to come, and the Raiders started to look a lot better as this game wore on. Houston Astrodome, where the Houston Oilers hold a 16-7 lead over the Los Angeles Raiders. The Coors Light first half statistics show a very pronounced time of possession advantage for the Oilers. Lots more yards. Back to the 97 total yards the Raiders have in the game. 59 came on the one play when the Oilers blitzed. Schrader, and after the Raider blockers picked it up, delivered to Willie Gault for a 59-yard score. But for the most part, this game has not been nearly as close as that 16-7 score. The Oilers have pretty much dominated it. Don Criqui with Big Bob Trumpy, himself a former All-Pro tight end. Are the Oilers able to maintain this advantage, do you think?
Don, I believe they are. We'll be able to in the second half. I think it's up to the Oilers to really fall on their face to lose this football game at this point. But let me talk about the Raiders for a minute. I don't believe to this point, through the first half of the opening game of the 1991 season, the Raiders either offensively or defensively have deployed any part of their offensive game plan or their defensive game plan. This is a bang at the line of scrimmage offense, soften up the defense, and then throw deep. And the defense is the same way. Pressure the quarterback, hammer the hell out of the receivers. We've seen none of that by the Los Angeles Raiders. The Houston Oilers have taken the Raiders completely out of their game offensively and defensively.
Well, it's hard to hit what you can't catch, and there's such extraordinary quickness. Some of these guys are about as big as Billy Barty, but they're fast and they're tough, and you just can't hit them.
Yeah.
And they come into a game knowing that, as you pointed out, Trump, they're almost all option routes,
right,
in and out, hooks and outs. And it's just been really a masterpiece of offensive football. And the Raiders, ready to win it, and I think they knew this coming in, had to be plus on turnovers. They're -1 on turnovers. The one interception of Jay Schrader. First possession, Oilers haven't turned the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an absolutely beautiful performance by the Houston Oilers. I think the only thing that keeps this close, as you look at the futility of the Los Angeles Raiders, that one big play from Schrader to Gault, accounts for 59 of the 97 total yards they have in the first half, as you said, Don. And if you look at Houston, the reason the game is so close, they had the ball so long. They had a 16-play drive. They had a 10-play drive. 11-play drive. They were on the field 4 times offensively, scored on 3 of them. I mean, this is as dominated as the Los Angeles football team was in Buffalo against the Bills in the AFC Championship game last January. The numbers don't say the same, but it's the same kind of domination.
Here is the kickoff now, and the Raiders run it back. Coming back hard is Sam Grady, but an open field tackle by Richard Johnson takes him down at the 21-yard line. Johnson with a good play on special teams. The Oilers' best corner. And it's now Raiders on offense. First down and 10.
Don, the Raiders almost have to do anything they possibly can to get in the end zone on this drive. I mean, 3 points would certainly help, but they need a sustained drive. They have not had a sustained drive throughout the first half.
To the run, Steve Smith gets the call, and the big back from Penn State makes it out to the 30-yard line. He got about 10 yards on the carry. Lamar Lathan, the left side linebacker, made the stop.
Not a guy who carries the ball a lot, but look up at the line of scrimmage. The lead blocker, Marcus Allen, the other running back. He's going to pick on Bubba McDowell, the strong safety. Smith right inside that block. The Raiders are going to have to come with some trick stuff here to get back in this ball game, because they need an 80-yard drive or a 75-yard drive for points here.
On second and short, free ball. Oilers have it at the 36-yard line of Los Angeles. Bubba McDowell, the strong safety, was on it. Number 25.
Looked like Doug Smith was the guy who jarred it loose from Marcus Allen. Someone was around their block immediately. Let's look at Doug Smith, the right. Yes. He jumps around Mosbar. They try to run a fold block, and he's there just as the ball gets there. Allen is the guy who fumbles it, but I'm not sure you can blame it on him. This is all a plus to Doug Smith, who has lost about 40 pounds and had a tremendous training camp for the Houston Oilers.
He's at his lightest weight since he came out of Auburn, Doug Smith, as he frees the ball from Marcus Allen. They used to say about Doug Smith when he was overweight that he was on 2 diets. He wasn't getting enough to eat on one. But this time he took it seriously.
2 diets.
Lost the 40 you mentioned. There he is. He can beat you up, Doug Smith.
Oh, fumble.
There's another free ball. But the Oilers hold on to it, albeit for a substantial loss. David Williams grabbed it. Greg Townsend knocked it free.
He pulled it right out of Warren Moon's hand. At top of the screen, he goes around David Williams, and you'll see his arm come up. There it is, and Williams makes the recovery of the fumble. So I guess if you allow the guy in there to knock it out of the quarterback's hand, it's the defensive lineman union's responsibility. You got to make the recovery.
Ball is set back now to the 45-yard line. Be the takeaway story of 1990. An area the Raiders did not excel in, nor do they today. They're down 2 in takeaways. They've turned it over twice. The Oilers not at all. As Warren Moon throws on their own. What a beautiful football play. The excellence of Warren Moon.
This is amazing.
Illustrated there. Absolutely spectacular execution.
Yeah, Don, this was a screen near side to Alan Pinkett. Watch Alan Pinkett, number 20. He should be there in the entire picture. He's the primary receiver. When Moon runs, Gibbons knows he's no part of this play. Suddenly turns around. All you have to do is drop coverage for a split second in this run and shoot, and the net result is a 24-yard pickup on a totally busted play by Houston.
First down and 10 at the 22-yard line. 16-7 Oilers, third quarter. Into the end zone. Very nearly a pick. Washington diving at the ball for the Raiders. Almost had it. The intended receiver was Curtis Duncan, but Warren Moon was a bit underthrown.
Yeah, that's unusual. There were 3 guys in coverage there. Watch what happens. Gibbons stops. And you see Lott. Look at there. Eddie Anderson, 33. Washington. A lot of people there. Very unusual for Warren Moon to make that choice.
Second down now arises for the Oilers. The ball position at the 21-yard line of the Raiders. Fake to Pinkett. Gibbons goes in. Touchdown, Houston.
We've got a celebration flag, I believe, on Ernest Givens. That's a new rule. Touchdown will count, and they'll assess it on the kickoff.
Not about it. This guy is a player, though.
People around the country are now talking about the NFL as the no fun league. You can't celebrate a touchdown.
There's no foul on the play. Touchdown.
Oh, they called it off. But the flag was on the ground in the end zone. Crossing pattern, half roll by Warren Moon. Watch this whole thing develop from behind the offense. Fake to Pinkett. That's Drew Hill underneath. Givens deep. And Daniel there to try to cover. Not even close.
Now the extra point try by Ian Houfield. It was nervous, but it got through. And the Oilers extend their lead to 23-7 with 12:17 to go in the third quarter.
Coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Subaru. It's what to drive. By cold filtered Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great? By durable weather beater paint. Only at Sears, the home of America's craftsmen. And by Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Ernest Givens in the end zone with a 21-yard touchdown catch. As again, the excellence of Warren Moon was illustrated by a perfect throw, threading defenders. And here's the kickoff now to Sam Grady, the Raiders, as he breaks the initial wave. And he's not done yet. Sam Grady's out across the 40.
All right. Ian Houfield makes the tackle. His first NFL hit. Way to go. This is the touchdown crossing pattern by Ernest Givens. Now here's where the spike happens. He starts the celebration, looks at the official, stops. The official throws the flag. Givens goes crazy. Warren Moon restrains him, and the officials pick the flag up. There was no penalty on the play, although the flag was thrown.
Warren with less than a subtle restraint.
Yes.
Hauled him right off.
Tore his jersey off of him.
Play fake. Schrader looking deep. Open man, but he overthrows his receiver, Mervyn Fernandez.
Mervyn saw Richard Johnson in the corner of his eye there. You can see Bo Orlando is back there, but watch Fernandez, and he's looking right at that free safety. Sees him sitting there. Watch this one-armed attempt. He could go up with two hands on that one, I think, Don.
Easy for you to say up here.
Absolutely. It was a long time ago when I had to go across the middle. I may have caught one or two one-handed. Those are big, loud footsteps back there, son.
Second down and 10. As Marcus Allen runs across the 45 to the 46-yard line where Al Smith knocks him down.
Well, it seems to me you wonder why the Raiders are staying with two running backs, Smith and Marcus Allen, two wide receivers and a tight end. Where is Tim Brown and where is Roger Craig in the backfield with Marcus Allen to give him 5 quality receivers out there? This is the same offense that they started the game with. There's Brown on the sideline, 3rd and 7.
Down throw is short as Latham comes over and makes a tremendous hit. 57. Latham is in his second year. He has 4.5 speed. He weighs 250 pounds, but they say until he learns the defense better, his 4.5 speed just tends to get him to the wrong place faster a lot of times. And now he's really picking up the defense, and he is a guy that can be absolutely a dominator in there.
This Raider offense is doing the Houston Oilers a great defense. They're putting literally no pressure on this defense. And it's up, it's protecting a 16-point lead. Well, I'm not sure I don't even go for this on 4th down and 3 if I'm Art Shell.
Down 23-7, long way to go, though. 10.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Big rush on hit downfield at Coleman from his 15, and Coleman, in his wisdom, there caught the ball with the nearest pursuit man 10 yards away.
Houston's booing here, but the idea is when you rush the punter. There is no return. The best idea, fair catch it.
A 10-minute ticker. Buffalo just scored. Frank Wright now in for Jim Kelly. We'll try to find out if Kelly's been hurt. He did throw a 54-yard touchdown pass. Wright just threw a 3-yard score as Buffalo now trails underdog Miami by 3. Steelers pulling away on San Diego on some Gary Anderson field goals. Bears holding to a 1-point lead. Denver with a 14-point lead on the Bengals. The Cardinals continue to lead the Rams now by 7, and New England has extended its lead over the Colts to a 13-7 mark. Here in Houston, it's 23-7. Oilers over the Raiders.
The crowd is finally coming to their feet with a little cheering, but this game was not sold out in time enough to lift the blackout, so I guess the Houston Oilers fans yet to be convinced that this is Super Bowl contender team.
Here's another throw. This time it is off the hands of Alan Pinkett, who was wide open. One of the first things the Oilers offense hasn't done right now. While we have a moment, let's go back to New York for this update with Marv.
All right, Don, another quarterback has gone down in Buffalo. Jim Kelly re-injured his left ankle and was replaced by Frank Wright. The severity of the injury not known. Wright moments ago, though, threw a touchdown. Buffalo trails Miami 17-14 in the third. Back to Don and Bob.
Here at the Astrodome, the Oilers crowd picks up the intensity. As with 10:21 to go in the third quarter, Moon has a 2nd down and 10 play. Handoff goes to Alan Pinkett. He's across the 20 and out to the 24-yard line. Down by Greg Townsend, the right end for the Raiders. Alan Pinkett getting a start. Lorenzo White, who was the incumbent last year as a running back. But Pinkett's a lot quicker hitting the hole. The Oilers were 24th in the league in rushing last year. And that was the knock on Lorenzo White, that he did too much stutter stepping, even though he's a bigger back. Pinkett, he's a north-south runner. He hits the gap in a hurry.
76 yards rushing and 18 rushes, matches the total of Lorenzo White in any one game last year. They don't run it 18 times very often in the run and shoot. Oop, flag on the offense.
This time, a hard hit put on by Anthony Smith. A second-year defensive end. Actually, it's his first year in action. He was injured in training camp.
Number 84 on the offense before the ball was snapped. Still 3rd down.
A year ago, Anthony Smith was injured and missed the whole season.
Jeffries just to the right side of the screen. He breaks too quickly, and it's before the count. So the good news is for Houston, they get another play. All the run and shoot once is another play.
Third down and 7 for Warren Moon. Let's her rip. 2 people running deep. Tony Jones went way up. That little Texas Longhorn who played basketball for the Longhorns and can dunk at 5'6". But Lionel Washington, who's made some very fine plays at corner, knocked the ball away.
That's pretty much a desperation throw by Warren Moon. You see Gibbons on the inside, 81. Jones on the outside. Those can get up. You talked about him slam dunking it. He was up there and up there for a while, too. Well, if you're the Raiders to get back in this game, do you go after this punt?
I think you sit back and try to get a return. They're going to get it in their end of the field. As Kent Sullivan with his 2nd pro punt. It's an end-over-end kick. Jim Brown takes it at his 45. Crosses midfield and dives down to the 46-yard line of the Oilers. So Los Angeles will go on offense 1st and 10 on the Oilers side of the field when we come back, with Houston in the lead 23-7. Nine minutes to play in the third quarter at Houston. Big roar from the Astrodome crowd as they just announced the official attendance, 61,367, the largest football crowd in Astrodome history. But unfortunately for fans in the television area, they didn't sell it out last Thursday.
See a little indoctrination there by the young for the young punter for the Houston Oilers.
This game is blacked out in Houston. And first down, Schrader lets the long ball fly, and a defensive play at the last moment separates the ball. And now they're going to call Richard Johnson for a foul.
Slant pattern run by Tim Brown.
Very close as Johnson closed in just as the ball came down.
Pass interference, defense. And the Raiders started.
Pass interference. Number 23 on a defense. First down.
Now the Raiders started this drive at the Houston Oilers 47. That's Willie Gault. That's the intended receiver on the slant. Richard Johnson on the interference. That left hand around the
Good
shoulder.
Call. Right on top of it.
But saying that the Raiders started on the 47 just the second time they've been across the 50-yard line today.
On first down, Schrader throws, open man. The ball is caught inside the 5-yard line. But as Willie Gault goes down at the 3, there's a marker down in the Raiders' backfield. It's a call against Los Angeles. Play comes back.
Number 73 on the offense. Still first down.
That's the third holding penalty against Fitzpatrick. He is replacing Max Montoya and facing Ray Childress at defensive tackle. Ray has pretty much eaten the young man's lunch.
Raiders having a penalty problem again, Trump. 7 penalties so far.
44 yards. The Houston Oilers just 5 for 65.
Now there's a timeout called on the field. Oilers call a timeout with 1st and 20 coming up at their 31.
Raiders changed personnel there late. Took Smith out, put Tim Brown in as Jay Schrader goes to the sideline. Art Shell.
(23-7) is the count. Oilers, after leading 16-7 at halftime, have since extended their lead. Next Saturday, Notre Dame football comes to NBC Sports. All the Fighting Irish home games will be on. Beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern time next Saturday, it's against the Indiana Hoosiers. There's still no announcement on a resolution of what happens to quarterback Rick Mirer and linebacker Demetrius DuBose, 2 of the best players in the Notre Dame team, who were arrested for conduct. But one lieutenant said there was no cause for the arrest. Notre Dame is awaiting a full resolution with the police department before making an announcement whether they'll play. Marcus Allen and Roger Craig are now in the game. Allen the setback. Craig is slotted out. The handoff to Marcus Allen. There's nothing there.
On 1st and 20.
Doug Smith, number 99, makes another big play for the Oilers.
On 1st and 20, you run that play?
They just did.
Doug Smith is certainly a stay-at-home defensive tackle, and I would hope for a little more ingenuity out of this offense. Trailing 23-7, your best field position of the day. Now let's go to page 2 or 3 of the playbook here and try to get it down the field. This Houston Oilers defense is good. It's not that good, although I'm not sure Schrader has enough time to throw it the way Childress has eaten up young Fitzpatrick.
Schrader lets a long ball go. Open receiver again, but the ball came in high. A tremendous effort by tight end Ethan Horton, but he couldn't come down with it.
Good zone coverage by the Houston Oilers. Schrader had a tough time throwing this over the linebackers. You watch 54 drop. That's Al Smith. He's going to be right in line with where the ball goes. And see, he's got to arch it over Al Smith. He just can't quite get the thing down to Ethan Horton. Incomplete.
Schrader, at least so far in this game, as Marcus Allen has attended to. Not matching Warren Moon in the most valuable attribute a quarterback can have, accuracy. Roger Craig comes out of the backfield and catches his first pass as an LA Raider and gets a hit for a gain of 9 yards. But again, we have a Is there a marker down?
Yes, there is. I think it's on the defense. Well, Lathan gets up limping. And Marcus Allen went out. Roger Craig came in, and they were in there for one snap together. Roger Craig flanked as a wide receiver. He's the total package, or was. What, in '85, didn't he have 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving?
Yep, went over both.
That's a busy career, let alone a busy year. There it is, in 1985.
Both sides, number 95 on the defense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
That penalty is declined. Why would they
Doesn't
do
make
that?
sense.
Who declined the penalty?
They'll get the down over.
What did they do?
It's going to 4th down.
Goodness gracious.
He's offside after the snap, and
Art Shell certainly wasn't happy. It looked like Jay Schrader made the decision, and
yeah, that didn't make sense.
yeah, I think that what Art Shell is
not happy at all.
I think what Art Shell is shooing there is Jay Schrader's ear.
Jaeger spins up a field goal try, and it looks like he's got it. He does. So Jaeger hits a field goal. The Raiders have their second score of the day, but they still trail in the game 23-10 with a long way to go. 7:24 to go in the third quarter.
Steelers battle the Bills. The Chargers take on the 49ers. An NBC football doubleheader next Sunday.
There you see the two participants in that little shouting match on the sideline. Obviously, Jay Schrader accepted the yards, turned down the penalty, which meant it advances to 4th down. They didn't get another shot at it. When he came to the sideline, Art Shell jumped right up in his face. Son, give us all the offensive plays we can muster. We've had enough 4th downs today. Art's still not over it. Jay Schrader is about as far away from Art Shell right now as he can get and still be on the bench.
Not a nice way to have the nice day, is it, to have Art Shell in your face?
No, I think Art could still put the pads on and throw you to the ground.
Now, he feels good about this team because he felt it's a team that can play football the way the Raider teams that he was an all-pro on dominated. And the offensive and defensive lines. But Houston's gotten terrific line play today. Their defensive front floor looks excellent. Here's the kickoff, and the Raiders special teams coverage is good as A.J. Jimerson was down to make the play. And the Oilers will go off 1st and 10 at their 18-yard line. This will heat up more before it's over. Derek Crudup, number 23, a defensive back from Oklahoma, who was waived then brought back. Oilers lead by 13 points.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, and our people in the truck can help me, but I think the Houston Oilers have had the ball 6 times and scored on 4 of them in this football game to this point with 7:15 to go in the third quarter. Not a bad percentage. We'll check on that, but I think it's 4 out of 6.
Now we just got word from Buffalo. Jim Kelly's back in the game. He threw a 50-yard touchdown pass to Thurman Thomas, and the Bills have gone ahead of Miami. Moon lobs it over the middle, and Alan Pinkett drops another ball. He likes to be looking at that defense when he's got the ball, not with his back to it. So Pinkett drops the ball, and it becomes 2nd down and 10 at the 18.
There were actually 2 receivers open. Leonard Harris was also open on the sideline. Moon's choice. You'll see Pinkett, number 20, just circle out of the backfield. Again, a little slide move by. Oh, that ball was tipped by Howie Long. That's why he missed it. Could you see that ball just lose its spiral?
Howie Long made the play. Now on 2nd and 10, another handoff, and Pinkett busts ahead for a gain of about 8 yards. He's out to the 27-yard line. Jerry Robinson, 57, and Winston Moss, 99, were the tacklers for Los Angeles.
Well, this offense has just totally crossed up the Los Angeles Raider defense. Those draws expend so much energy of the defensive linemen. The offensive linemen show pass, set back, the defensive linemen rush in 3 yards, and all of a sudden Pinkett's going the other way. They got to turn around and come back and try to make the tackle. A very tiring type of defense to play against this offense.
Pinkett getting a lot of work. 19 carries so far.
That's more than Lorenzo Whitehead at any one game last year. 85 yards.
Here's a throw and a catch. The thing of beauty again is the Oilers are on the run. Leonard Harris makes a reach-out, pull-in reception on the dead run as Warren Moon, who's just so laser precise off the run, firing the ball.
I see they catch the Raiders in a zone. You see everybody kind of looking around there. And the space available for Warren Moon and the foot speed of these Houston receivers just doesn't work. 29-yard reception by Leonard Harris, and I believe he becomes the 7th person to catch a pass today from Warren Moon.
That is correct. Warren, the benevolent man, spreads it around. Everybody gets some. It's first down and 10 now for the Oilers at the 44-yard line of the Raiders. Pinkett down to the 39. He got 5. Greg Townsend tackled him. Pinkett, a career rusher with a over 4-yard a carry average.
Well, this Raider defense is going to be flat worn out. Greg Townsend down there in a heap on the field. They have faced a bunch of plays, and of course this is uncharted territory. Opening game of the season. Normally veterans and starters don't play 4 quarters, and now we're 5:41 to go in the third. These guys are exhausted already.
Now while we have a chance, let's go back to NFL Live in New York. Here's Marv Albert. Marv.
Thank you, Don. In Buffalo, Jim Kelly made it back from an ankle injury, and he got right to it. Kelly combining with Thurman Thomas on this 50-yard reception to give Buffalo a 21-17 lead over Miami in the 4th. The Bills were down 14-0. Back to Don and Bob.
Thank you, Marv. Greg Townsend shaken up. He comes off the field now. The big Raider pass rusher. Marcus Allen has a leg being iced down. Doesn't look like he'll be back today. Alan Pinkett enjoying his best day as an Oiler runner. One day, Marcus Allen rushed for 191 yards in a Super Bowl record. Alan Pinkett has 89 yards in this game today on 20 carries. Scored a touchdown, the first of the day. Very strong. He bench presses well over 400 pounds as Alan Pinkett at 5'7", 195.
Ooh, 10 guys up at the line of scrimmage here now for the Raiders. Reverse. Oh, look at this.
Ernest Givens gets ahead and might have a first down. It appears that he does as he gets to the 33-yard line.
Another aspect of the run and shoot. Show us any defense you got. We don't care what it is. We'll get one of our fast little guys outside in the open. See all those. Ronnie Lott playing middle linebacker, 42. The only guy that recognizes the reverse is Gary Lewis, and he's the guy who makes the tackle, along with Eddie Anderson, 33, but not before there's a first down pickup. Wow. Great balance in the run and shoot today. Last year, 77% of their yards came passing.
Correct. Today, they're running almost as much as they're shooting, and they run again. Pinkett tries to turn the corner and does, and gets ahead to the 29-yard line on a first down carry. Free safety Eddie Anderson on the tackle for the Raiders as Alan Pinkett continues to grind out the yards for Los Angeles.
This has got to be an absolutely humbling experience for this Raider defense. I have great respect for this defense.
Also an exhausting one.
Yes, but I mean, coming in the opening game of the season, this is a team that is historically very good on opening day, and they're just befuddled. They have not been able to really smack anybody, put any pressure on anybody. They're chasing these little guys around all over the place, probably driving them nuts.
Second down throw by Warren Moon. He's going for it. Oh, he's got a man. Tony Jones is in. .28-yard touchdown throw by the great Warren Moon.
Single coverage. Torin Doran has him. Again, it's zone. You can see the cornerback looking into the quarterback, and the safety never rotates out. No deep outside help. Easy reception for Warp Speed Jones. Well, they're going to burn this tape when they get back to Los Angeles.
Extra point hit right to the middle by Ian Hatfield. And the Oilers have now opened up a 30-10 lead on the Los Angeles Raiders. In the local papers, the Oilers were a field goal favorite coming into this game.
Good pass protection. That's what starts it. A quick set, and immediately Jones is open. And Moon doesn't miss many like this. 1, 2, 3, 6 by Warp Speed Jones. Look at Warren Moon. Yes, sir. This is a team, the Los Angeles Raiders, that were 12-4 last year. Won the AFC West, went to the conference championship game, but this is looking more like that playoff game than it did the season last year.
So the last two games that Al Davis has witnessed his Raiders play have not been happy events. The 51-3 loss to the Bills at Buffalo in the AFC Championship game last January. And now they open the season trailing 30-10 here in the third quarter at Houston.
That's Al Locasal, his executive assistant, sitting to the right of Al Davis. Al Locasal was here yesterday when the University of Houston played Louisiana Tech. Score of that game 73-3. They too employ the run and shoot.
Jack Pardee put it in there. He was at the University of Houston before he came to the Houston Oilers.
Yeah, I guess if you're in Houston with the Gamblers, the Cougars, and the Oilers, you've got to run the run and shoot.
Klingler threw 9 touchdown passes yesterday. David Klingler threw 54 last season. The kickoff goes to Grady. And here's a free ball. It looks like a touchdown for Houston. No flags and no official blowing a play dead. Mike Dumas, a rookie, got the ball and ran it in. We'll have to look at this again. But at the moment, it is officially a touchdown. And Sam Grady is just getting off the field as he was blitzed. They are rocking and rolling in the Astrodome. This is one of the biggest games in Oiler history, opening with a rout of the Raiders.
Let's see who makes the hit here. .51, yeah. Bears. Ball pops loose. Dumas picks it up.
Dumas, a top prospect out of Indiana. He was the 28th player picked in the last draft. First player picked in the second round.
Ooh, you know what? On that second replay, it looked to me like his knee was down. If you'll go back and look at, if we can go back and look at that again, that looked like his knee was down. Dumas standing on the sideline. The officials have stopped here for a minute. They are reviewing. I repeat, Don, now I'm not sure we can see the football, but his knee just crumbled. Watch his left knee. I can't tell from that angle. The other angle, I had a question about it. I'm not sure. Let's watch this one. Watch his knee hit the ground.
Well, you can't see if the ball is out, though. Inconclusive. It's inconclusive, so the play stands if it's ruled inconclusive by them.
You need, this is a lawyer's word, incontrovertible evidence to overturn the play on the field. I agree with you.
And there wasn't any. It is a touchdown for rookie Mike Dumas. And the Oilers extend their lead to 36-10.
Grady on the return. Bears, the linebacker, number 51, just buckles his knees. Ball loose, 38. Dumas. Great hands. He just kind of sweeps in there and picks that baby up and runs it in 19 yards for a touchdown. Watch his hit. Look at his helmet shake. That knee buckle by Sam Grady. They don't have people doing that to you when you're running the 200 meters. There's no interference on that track.
Dumas had bounced right up into his hands. Dumas distinguished himself as a special teams player. 4 of the 8 Oiler defensive backs are rookies. The young guns, they call them. There's the lead gun, Mike Dumas. He could be a big-time player before he's done. Not a bad start.
Being in the right place at the right time can get you a lot of garbage in the NFL. Bears makes the hit. Grady coughs it up. And I think
Grady's a gamer, Bob. He's back in there.
Yeah. I have a feeling, though, the Raider fans are probably at the beach playing volleyball.
Didn't we just see this? The Oilers kicking off?
Yes, we did. This is not instant replay, kids.
High spinning kickoff by Haufield. Grady again. He gets to the 22-yard line, and it was Dumas who got down there and upended him.
Sam's got some guts. Got a strong chin. Boy, they rang his bell. He's right back out there on the next snap.
As we look at the 10-minute ticker, the early finals today. Now Miami has scored to go ahead of Buffalo in the 4th quarter. Pittsburgh continues to lead the Chargers in the 4th quarter. The Bears holding to a 1-point lead over the Vikings. Denver blowing out Cincinnati. Phoenix continues to lead the favored Rams. Here's a screen pass, but a penalty marker's down as Steve Smith runs ahead for first down yardage, but it could all come back.
I think that's going to be the 4th holding penalty on Fitzpatrick against Ray Childress. I think they're going to call 73 again. Schrader sees the flag. Oh, no. Come on.
Holding, number 66 on the offense. Still first down.
Steve Wright this time, the right tackle.
Okay.
Ray Childress is a dominator, though. Number 79 on the Oilers. He was the 2nd player picked in the draft when he came out of Texas A&M, the year that Bruce Smith was the first choice.
This guy's had just 1 week of practice. He broke his leg. He had a hairline fracture of his, was it the tibia? The big bone in your lower leg?
Yeah.
Missed 3 games.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah. Thought again this year is
Bob Lilly.
Going to look. Thought he was going to be back at defensive end, but there he is in at a tackle again.
Every play his push is in. Now they're doubling him every down. Schrader gets away. Jay Schrader turns the corner, and finally he's pulled down about the 24-yard line. Bubba McDowell and Lamar Latham brought him down.
Schrader's a tough kid. He's big, isn't he? Unique. Former baseball catcher.
Said he was a catcher before he was a quarterback.
Didn't want to be a quarterback either. Was a linebacker and a fullback on his Pop Warner League football team. They also told us that last year was the first year in 4 seasons that he had not had some surgery.
Second down throw. It's completed. Roger Craig. With that high stepping style, he will knock you out if you come in head on him, the way he raises those knees up to his chin with his running style.
He's got a handful of Super Bowl rings, doesn't he?
He has 3. Lott has 4.
I think Roger Craig can make a tremendous contribution to this team, but I don't like the idea that he backs up Marcus Allen. I like the idea to see both those guys in the game. Both guys, Allen and Craig, are complete backs. We'll catch, we'll block, we'll run. Raiders got to figure out an offense where they're both in there.
He's strictly a wide receiver on this play. That's Roger Craig coming out the lower right. A long ball downfield. Coverage is there, and the throw is too long. Richard Johnson covering Tim Brown on the play. Brown, the '87 Heisman Trophy winner. Speculation is that Klingler has gone into the lead. Heisman Trophy candidates.
The Klingler brothers yesterday for the University of Houston threw for 7 touchdowns.
Guys think his brother's going to be better, the freshman?
It's amazing.
Well, they'll find out what they're all about because Houston heads into Miami of Florida. I know who you don't want to play, Florida State.
Yes, that is correct.
Here's a throw downfield and almost a pick by Latham. Lamar Latham, who's had trouble in pass coverage and all of a sudden is getting good at it, was right in position but couldn't hold on.
Ethan Horton, the intended receiver, the tight end, and you're right. Latham was right in the right spot, just underneath the tight end. Play took a long time to develop. Everything's worked today for the Houston Oilers. There's Latham. Should have made the catch. I'll bet he's not on the all-hands team for the Houston Oilers.
He could be on the all-wrecking ball team, though. Hardee had him at Texas A&M, or at the University of Houston, excuse me, where he played collegiately. Schrader stands in. They got his arm just as he released it. Now a marker comes in from way back. Back judge fires in a marker. And Childress, in his wisdom, runs up and says, I tipped the ball. It's open season. You can hit anybody once the ball's tipped.
William Fuller is the guy who makes the contact. Pass interference offense.
Pass interference. Number 88 on the offense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Once that ball's tipped, the receivers are live. Anybody can pop them going for the ball.
That brings up a 4th down anyway. The Raiders have not been able to sustain anything. Been across the 50-yard line twice today, once on a 59-yard catch by Willie Gault.
For a touchdown. On hit downfield and hit well by Gossett. And Coleman looks for room to run, and the Raiders do a good job on special teams and hem him in. A.J. Jimerson was down. Another penalty marker's down.
You know, we've not called Howie Long's name today. I don't think Ronnie Lott has been a factor in this defense today, and it's not that they've played poorly. It's just that the run and shoot appears to be able to take great players out of their game.
We'll check now, get the call from Red Cashin.
Illegal block. Number 51 of the receivers doing the run back. It'll be 1st down.
Eric Thayer, the linebacker, called for an illegal block. The NFL goes to week 2 next Sunday at NBC Sports. The Steelers and the Bills meet at Buffalo. San Diego plays the 49ers at Candlestick. The Broncos head into Los Angeles to meet the Raiders at the LA Coliseum next Sunday at a 1 o'clock start Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern. 1:07 to go in the 3rd quarter. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy at the Astrodome in Houston. 37-10. Pinkett breaks into open field. And Alan Pinkett continues to pile on the yards. His best day as a pro. He's out to the 43-yard line.
That's his 21st carry on the day, over 100 yards, straight up the middle. Excellent job by this Houston Oilers offensive line.
27-yard gain by Alan Pinkett, who told us there's a lot of big runs in our offense because the defense has to look past.
That offensive line of the Houston Oilers today against a quality defensive line, totally dominant.
This won't help Lorenzo White in his holdout. He was the starting runner, still holding out. Pinkett carries for no yards. Somebody said that Pinkett makes more than Lorenzo White.
Maybe that's why Lorenzo White's sitting wherever he's sitting and wanting more money.
That'll do it for 3 quarters of play. And the evidence is strong that the Houston Oilers might be a Super Bowl team.
Houston Oilers offensive production today, out of 7 drives, 5 scores, 4 touchdowns, and that does not include the fumble recovery for a touchdown. This is as dominant as I've seen this offense against this type of defense in the last 2 years of the Houston Oilers.
2nd and 8. Warren Moon has the ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Raiders get a hand up and knock it back. Brings up third down. Looked like it might have been Greg Townsend that got it.
And Don, about the only suspense left in this game is after the injury to Warren Moon last year in Cincinnati, how much longer will Jack Pardee go with Warren Moon leading 37-10 and with those numbers as the quarterback? I think Houston learned last year that they need Warren Moon running the run and shoot. Cody Carlson just doesn't have the magic that Warren Moon does back there. I have a feeling this might be his last series. I think it should be his last series. Fumble.
Raiders signal they had the ball. With 14:55 to play in the game, Anthony Smith, number 94, comes up with it. A fumbled snap.
Very surprising. Same center, same quarterback all day long. Matthews on the snap. Let's see what happens. That didn't look like he ever got it up there. Anthony Smith gets a surprise package, and the Raiders get great field position here. That's the first turnover of the day for Houston, isn't it?
It is that, Trump, and now Vince Evans comes in at quarterback for the Raiders.
You suppose it's related to that decision by Jay Schroeder to
he wasn't hurt.
Take the yards and not take the penalty?
Hurt feelings maybe, but we didn't see any injury to Jay. As Vince Evans, the 36-year-old former Trojan from USC, comes in and starts firing and makes a strike on his first throw. Gets the ball downfield on an out pattern to Willie Gault. Raiders in a hurry-up offense. Apparently they just want to see if they can't get some offense going with a new arm in there. Change pitchers. There's nothing to lose. A 37-10 score.
Vince Evans was cut at the beginning of this week. Now back playing at the end of this week. There's Schroeder on the sideline. Looks healthy. Not a good day for Jay Schroeder at all.
Schroeder was just saying yesterday, this is the year that things are settled. Over the past years, it's been questions like, where are we going to play? Who's the coach? Who's the quarterback? That's all settled this year, but at the moment, Vince Evans is in for him. Throwing a drop. Evans again right on target. Oh. Ethan Horton dropped the ball. And the Oilers pick it up. They're going to take anything loose they can as far as they can.
Well, we know Vince Evans is a tough guy. I remember when he broke in with the Chicago Bears, he couldn't make it as their quarterback, so he was their kickoff return man and punt return man. Vince has hung around for a long time in the league and started very few games and played in very few games, but he's one of those gutty guys that you like to have around the football team.
And there is their third-string quarterback, Todd Marinovich, another former USC product. Their #1 draft choice, who gave up 2 years of eligibility to sign. Evans threw only 1 pass in regular game competition last year and only 2 passes the season before. Now he's on the run, and he's always been good at that as he dives down to the 25-yard line. Dale Smith is on him quickly.
Yeah, but, you know, this Raider team is not a good team when it's got to throw on every down. Their offensive linemen are designed to beat you up at the line of scrimmage. They're a good pass protection line, but when they can stand there and just bang on you all day long and wear you out defensively, that's when they're at their best. When they got to throw on every down, the line it's not at its most effective.
So the Raiders with Jay Schroeder, their starter. Vince Evans, soon to be 37, his backup. I think he is 37. And then an untried rookie, although one with great promise, Steve Berline, who was backing up Jay Schroeder, is now a Dallas Cowboy as Evans finds nobody to go to on third down, and he's swept under.
That was a quarterback draw designed to do that. Lee Williams on the tackle. That didn't work either, and the Raiders are going for it on 4th down. Look at Art Shell. This has got to just kill him. See his team perform this way. You don't know as a head coach whether you put it on your team and that they didn't perform, or the Houston Oilers in the Astrodome are that good a team.
Yeah, Lou Cassell said yesterday, and people were saying to him, tomorrow's a big game. He said, they're all big games in this league. You only play 16. 4th down throw, but there's nobody to throw to, and Vince Evans is ripped down. Lamar Latham starting to look as good as advertised when he came out of Houston. So the Oilers take over the ball. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui back at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, where the Oilers, behind the brilliant play of Warren Moon, and how sweet it's been as they've opened up a 37-10 lead on the Los Angeles Raiders. The whole offense revolves around Warren Moon. His play calling, his decisions on the run, and then his brilliant passing. Anthony Smith comes in to stop Pinkett for no gain.
So if he's that valuable, leading by 27 points, what's he doing in there? What point are we trying to make here, gentlemen? There's Cody Carlson, the backup.
Commander Cody. Not Commander siding Hot Rod Lincoln.
I would treat something worth $3.7 million this year a little more protectively, you know? Look at that. Oh.
Moon's got such an exceptional release. It's just a flick, and the tight spiral is right on the numbers time after time. That time Ernest Givens was his man. Good for a 23-yard gain.
And the Raider defensive line just can't get pressure because, one, look where Moon sets. Two, how quickly he gets rid of the ball. I mean, the offensive line has done a great job, but they don't have to protect forever. They don't use play-action passing. I mean, when it functions, it's just wonderful.
The burner's in now. Tony Jones is in, the fastest Oiler. He's at the lower portion of your screen. On 1st and 10. Warren Moon likes him. Got to him earlier today. Here's Alan Pinkett breaking into open field and rocketing down to the 30-yard line of the Raiders. Ronnie Lott, last line of defense, got him. Big block on the play by Bruce Matthews.
19 yards on the pickup. You also see Munchak, 63, pulling. Matthews and Munchak. Interesting that Kim Helton, the Raiders offensive line coach, who used to be the offensive line coach here, said he's had the great fortune to coach 4 of the greatest offensive guards the game has ever had. Munchak and Matthews here, and Wisniewski and Montoya in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's saying something. Oh, look at that.
Pinkett almost quadrupling the Raider rushing yards. Here's a throw into the end zone to Givens.
Oh. His leg is through the bars there. He's all right. He's all right.
Ernest Givens out of the University of Louisville. His coach there, Howard Schnellenberger, told him when he went to try out at that combine workout they have, just run as fast as you can run, jump as high as you can jump, do everything they ask you to do, and you're going to make yourself $1 million. He makes almost that a year now.
Yeah, well, he makes enough that last year when he heard the Oilers were going to the run and shoot, insured himself with Lloyd's of London. I don't know for how much, but the premium was $35,000.
That's probably what he has to insure that car of his for. He's got a car that costs $225,000. Ernest is going good. There's no question about it.
There's a lot of smiles on a lot of faces here in Houston. And for the Raiders,
regroup. Their lament last season, the inconsistency of the team. On days they could look like absolute Raider hallmark teams, and then other days they were just awful, and today has been one of those other days. Next week, the Denver Broncos head to the Coliseum in Los Angeles. The New England Patriots have just won a football game. They've beaten the Colts at Indianapolis. Moon goes for the end zone and overthrows number 84 Haywood Jeffries as Greg Townsend popped Warren Moon after he released the ball.
Well, the questions are going to be, are the Oilers that good, or do the Raiders play that bad?
Well, the Oilers defense is that good. And
watch Greg Townsend right behind the feet of Warren Moon. Boy, they're taking a chance. Mr. Haufield's in for a long field goal.
He can kick it far. In a scrimmage when he's trying out with Seattle, a full scrimmage, he kicked a 65-yarder. Spins it up. It's good. So this is a big moment for this young guy, a guy that was watching the Oilers in a preseason game against San Diego in a bar, and he saw their place kicker miss 2 extra points, and he called for a tryout the next Monday. 46-yarder is good. One of the reasons that Ian Haufield got a try this year, their field goal percentage, 66%, was the poorest in the AFC last season when Teddy Garcia was their kicker. Haufield today, after missing an extra point in his first kick as a pro, has now hit 2 field goals in every subsequent extra point he's been asked to try, which has been many, in a 40-10 Houston lead. As the kickoff now, he drives a one-hopper through the end zone for a touchback. So his confidence, which was way down, has to be sky high now. And the Raiders have to be asking a lot of questions in their last 2 games, dating back to the AFC Championship game at Buffalo. To this opening day game, the Raiders have been outscored 91-13 in those 2 games.
And both of those teams certainly have employed the run and shoot. Buffalo doesn't call it the run and shoot, but it's certainly the hurry-up offense. I repeat something I said earlier. I think I said it at halftime. I don't think at any point in this game, and even to this point, the Raiders have employed any part of their offense or defensive game plan. Houston's taken it totally out of it.
And compounding the mix is the fact that Schrader has been benched in this game, and Vince Evans is now in it. He throws a strike, and on the run is Sam Grady, and he'll go the distance. Vince Evans with an on-time throw to super fast Sam Grady is good for an 80-yard touchdown. So Art Shell right now has got to be thinking next week when the Denver Broncos come into the Coliseum, Vince Evans looks like his man.
This is just a foot race. Richard Johnson has no chance at that point. Grady with a gold medal. What was it in the 88 Olympic relay? 4x100 Olympic relay?
I think it was in the LA game.
That's 84. No chance of catching him. If you don't get a bump on this guy or have help on top, you got no chance. And Vince Evans, what'd you say, he had 1 pass last year?
1 attempt, yeah. 2 the season before. It's only about 8 or 10 people in the world faster than Sam Grady, and Richard Johnson isn't one of them. The guy's trying to cover him, obviously. The extra point is up and good, so the Raiders have had a couple of big plays to celebrate, but much too little and far too late as they trail 40-17. Warren Moon with another superior passing day, a native of Los Angeles, and one of the truly great players in the NFL.
One of the truly great gentlemen in the NFL, too. It looks like his day is done.
Commander Cody.
Carlson warming up on the sideline.
Commander Cody had a big day last season when he was called on to go against the Steelers in a playoff game, and he quarterbacked the win. Little pooch kick. Alan Pinkett got it.
Fair catch it. Very smart on Alan Pinkett's part. He knows the rules. He can fair catch it, can't be touched. Actually, I'm kind of surprised the Raiders would do that. Your best percentage is to bounce it on the ground so that you can't fair catch it as the receiving team.
Another thing you see little used, Trump, is that any player in possession of the ball can call timeout anytime he's in possession of it.
That is correct. For one of the few times since they put in the run and shoot today, it was the run and shoot. Great balance on this offense.
The passing game don't get you. The running game will. Equal balance, equally effective. Now it's 1st down and 10 for the Oilers. 9:25 to play. 40-17 is the score. As Gary Brown, a rookie running back from Penn State, is now in to get some tries for Houston.
And the reason I think that they've gotten Warren Moon out of the game, this was last year in Cincinnati, the game totally out of reach. James Francis jams Warren Moon's thumb. It is a dislocated thumb. He did not play in the playoff game, so they learned a lesson from last year, and Warren Moon is safely on the sideline.
The 9 300-yard passing games by Warren Moon tied an NFL record set by Dan Marino. Buffalo has rallied back now to take command of the Miami Dolphins after trailing late in the game. Buffalo's now up 35-24. 2 late touchdowns. Pat Coleman, another of the small, quick wide receiving core. He's ahead for a first down for Houston on a 23-yard gain. Now Marino has just thrown for a touchdown, and Buffalo's lead is 4 points with 2:23 to play. Just hit Mark Duper. Marino had an absolutely awful preseason. Apparently he's back in regular season form today, though. Brown will run the ball. Gary Brown, the rookie from Penn State. Shows his stuff as he comes inside the 40, and he's not done till he gets to the 28-yard line. 8th round draft choice. They think they got a blue chipper. He was the Pennsylvania High School Player of the Year. Then he had some injury problems at Penn State, and Coach Paterno moved him between running back and strong safety. He really didn't have a position. The Oilers really thought he stood out when they saw him at the Senior Bowl. Drafted him in the 8th round, and he has been a top player during the preseason. A 5-yarder rush man.
They think he's a perfect run-and-shoot running back. Going to spend a lot of time with this young man. Give him a chance to really develop.
They all extol his toughness. He blocks like a tank. He missed that block. He started to move out of the backfield. He's got to make a read to see if there's a blitz coming. If there isn't, he swings out.
Anthony Smith on the sack. Anthony's trying to check himself out there on the Diamond Vision up here in the Astrodome. Get his own instant replay here. It looked good, Anthony. Believe me, it looked good.
Anthony Smith has the goods. They say he's going to be a top player. He missed all of his rookie season with a knee injury. Now it is 2nd down and 19 from the 37-yard line of the Raiders. Brown, the running back. Carlson throws to him, and Howie Long is quickly there to snuff out that play, and actually for a loss of 3 yards.
Well, one of the few times we've called Howie Long's name all day.
That's right.
And that's not to say that Howie Long has had a particularly bad day. The run and shoot can neutralize a lot of people.
Now in his 11th year. And Holtz has announced that both Rick Mirer, the quarterback, and Demetrius DuBose, the linebacker, will play Saturday against Indiana after they reviewed everything in that arrest charge. Here is a throw downfield. It skips off the hands of wide receiver Pat Coleman.
Would you say that again? He did discipline them, but they will play?
Yeah, after reviewed everything and talked to the local police guy, one lieutenant said the arrest should never have been made, that they weren't disorderly. Holtz said that reviewing the evidence, they will play in the game, but they'll be disciplined. One was underage. DuBose is 20 and had a beer. Isn't that awful? Surprised they didn't give him life. I'd be doing life if they got me for every beer I had before I was 21.
Well, anyway.
Player down on the field.
And the Colts have not won an opener since they moved from Baltimore. Yep.
Hit downfield. Nicely done by Sullivan, as the ball will roll inside and all the way down to the 4-yard line, or is it the 3 of the Raiders, and the Raiders go on offense there, 1st and 10 with 5:52 to play. Tonight on it. Trump, where do you think the Raiders go from here when they go back to practice? What do you do about the quarterback position? Certainly, the quarterback didn't give up the 40 points.
Yeah, but I don't think you can make a lot of... This is a very talented football team. I think Jay Schroeder is my quarterback if I'm Art Shell. I think you pretty much have to dismiss this game as the Houston Superdome. And the way they play the run and shoot here is a lot different than the way they play the run and shoot other places. They were 6-2 last year in the Dome, 3-5 on the road. I think you have to... When the first thing Art Shell's got to tell these guys when they get in the locker room after the game, forget this one. We got 15 games left. Forget this one. There was nothing gained by this. But the Raiders also play the Atlanta Falcons. And the Falcons use a form of the run and shoot. Not quite as sophisticated, but the run and shoot has given the Los Angeles Raiders over the last couple of years a great deal of difficulty. Just wipe it out of their memory. Try to forget it and go on.
Well, the Falcons' version of the run and
Holding,
shoot.
number 76 on the offense. That penalty is declined. It'll be second down.
What were you going to say?
The Falcons' version of the run and shoot did nothing today against the Chiefs' defense. Kansas City winning 16-7 over Atlanta today at Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah, I think what this loss does is put a great deal of pressure on this team to win against Denver next week in the Coliseum. Denver beat Cincinnati today.
Did they ever?
So there's going to be added pressure on the team, but...
Excellent move by Vince Evans. He got out of jail. Trapped in the end zone. He somehow spun away and released the ball complete to Sam Grady. Close to a first down, but not quite there. Sean Jones now in the game. He put a big rush on. He just came in yesterday after holding out throughout training camp.
You know, Don, to continue my thoughts, too, on the Los Angeles Raiders, as you look at Sean Jones, former Los Angeles Raider, I think there's a benefit. There's a lot of benefits to having a veteran team, and the Raiders are a veteran team. And I think the veterans on this team can't forget a game like this. Wipe it out of their memory. Start fresh when practice begins next week. Jay Schroeder included.
Raiders get a first down on the throw to Grady. Evans throws again and gets Roger Craig out to the 24-yard line. Al Smith is there quickly to make the play. 40-17 is the score. The Oilers lead the Raiders. They led at halftime 16-7.
To give you a sense of how futile the Raiders offense has been today, coming into this last drive, they had amassed a total of 238 yards. But they got 139 of it on 2 plays. The touchdown by Sam Grady and the touchdown by Willie Gault.
59-yarder to Willie Gault from Jay Schroeder, an 80-yarder from Vince Evans to Sam Grady. 4:02 left to go. If not the most exciting game of the year, it surely is going to be the longest. Grady on an out pattern gets the ball out to the 38-yard line.
Unfortunately, you have to keep playing as a player and you have to keep coaching as a coach here. I think both Jack Pardee and Art Shell hope that no one gets injured in this final 3 minutes and 50 seconds. This is a big win for the Houston Oilers. Starting the season the way they do, they kind of broke the season down, and they really think that the first 3 games of the season are key. With this Raiders win, they play Cincinnati at Cincinnati next week, and then they got Kansas City here, and last year they just tore up Kansas City. And then they've got a game against New England at Foxborough, and then a week off. So the first 3 games of the season they deemed as very important.
57.
Oh, good. Done. They're putting time back on the clock. Lucky us. We just got 8 more seconds.
Evans has hit 5 of 7 throws for 113 yards. The 80-yarder, of course, to Sam Grady, the longest play of this game. Grady has 3 catches for 107 yards. Vince Evans on the run, looks for Roger Craig, who catches the ball and goes out of bounds, saving precious time. Johnny Meads hits him out of bounds.
Evans, great job of finding the outlet receiver here, and that's Craig out at the sideline, but this ball kind of eats him up. He does a great job of catching it, though. That guy has over 500 career receptions in the NFL. You can throw it end over end, oil it down. Roger Craig can still catch it.
Buffalo has defeated Miami today, 35-31, rallying to win. In the long and storied history of the National Football League, tens of millions have paid to see pro football, and never one paid admission was to see an official.
For 25.
Well, what are you trying to tell me?
Well, they're doing the best they can, but when it's this out of hand, I don't think we should be looking at them. That's all it's on the field right now, taking action as they adjudicate again.
Yeah, only if you have a morbid curiosity do you want to sit and watch this anymore if you're a Raider fan.
But as you pointed out, that's a long way to go, 15 weeks ahead. Here's Vince Evans on the run, and he gets ahead for a first down to the 50-yard line. So the Raiders keep the drive alive with 3:35 to play.
Here's another fact as you watch Vince Evans run for his life here. The Raiders have only run 44 offensive plays today. Picked off.
Intercepted. Al Smith, the linebacker, runs it back.
Sean Jones with good pressure on Vince Evans. That's a 14-yard return, and Al Smith with a nice catch. And the Oilers get it again.
Vince Evans made a lot of good throws while he was in, and that one to the wrong spot. So a second interception of the game by the Houston defense. They also intercepted Jay Schroeder on the 3rd play of the game. 3rd play for the Raiders. That was after Houston had gone in front 6-0.
Well, if one of these receivers catches the ball and goes out of bounds, I think we ought to find him.
Gary Brown, number 33, will run the ball now for the Houston Oilers. First year back from Penn State, and he takes it down to the 40-yard line. Ahead for a gain of 4 yards.
Don, you saw the graphic there that on the 3 turnovers the Los Angeles Raiders have had today, now this being the 4th, the Houston Oilers have done a great job of getting the ball in the end zone. To this point, all 3 turnovers that they got produced points, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. The Houston Oilers, offensively and defensively, special teams have been the complete package today. And the amazing thing is Jack Pardee, the head coach, Jim Eddy, the defensive coordinator, they were all worried about this game today. With all the holdouts and 4 starters on defense with a week or less experience in camp.
They have to be very encouraged by the play of those 4 rookie defensive backs. Their pass defense, for the most part, has been good. There were 2 breakdowns, a blitz on Schrader, and he hit an open Willie Gault for the 1 touchdown.
Yeah, there's the late arrivers. But I do believe that this game was decided after the 2nd offensive drive by the Houston Oilers. Remember, they went 16 plays and scored, 11 plays and scored. In between, Jay Schroeder had 3 plays and an interception. 27 plays. This game was shot.
Now we have the 2-minute warning here at the Astrodome. We'll be back in a moment. All our games will be featuring the Canon Camcorder replay of the game. Today, it is a touchdown throw by the Houston Oilers to second-year flyman Tony Jones. Here goes Tony.
He gets by Lionel Washington, or Torin Doran, 46, and then in stride, laces up, right foot, waltzes into the end zone for an easy 29-yard touchdown.
Now as we go back to live action with 2 minutes to play in the game, it is 3rd down and 4 for the Oilers. Hand off to Gary Brown. He breaks ahead for a first down and more. He's going to take it in for his first NFL touchdown. Gary Brown, it doesn't get any better than this. A 39-yard touchdown run in his first NFL game. And for the Raiders, an horrendous situation gets far worse.
46-17. Getting a little psychedelic around here. That's the way that they look for the Los Angeles Raiders. That last little thing.
Well, in their last 2 games, look at this. No matter what it looks like, if it goes through, it's good. There's a penalty marker down. The Raiders have been scored in their last 2 National Football League games, the playoff game at Buffalo and this game. They've been outscored 97-20.
False start. Right guard on the offense. Still a try.
Here's the touchdown again. Look at Bruce Matthews, 74. Absolutely just controlling Nolan Harrison, 74.
Dan Land waves at him, number 25.
This kid's got pretty good speed for his size. He's close to 220 pounds.
Now the extra point try with a hold at the 15. And Ian Hopfield, who's kicking it straight and through after his first extra point miss, helps the Oilers build their lead to 47-17.
Some of the numbers are amazing. The Oilers have amassed 460 yards of offense and 28 first downs. Their third down conversion rate last year was 52%. That led the league. It was at least that good today. At one point, they were 8 for 8. The numbers this offense can put up. Rare. More runs than throws.
And almost 500 yards offense against what was the number 4 defense in the whole NFL last season. Winners tell jokes, losers say deal. Not a whole lot of conversation between Coach Sheldon and
Jay Schroeder, no. Going to have to be some fences mended between those two. I mean, you got to forget a play like that. Pretty much tone for the entire day if you didn't see what happened. Jay Schroeder cost him a down by taking yardage gained by Roger Craig. It ended up being 4th down. And
here's Napoleon McCallum running the kickback. And he takes it all the way out to the 32-yard line with 1:46 to play. The Raiders go on offense again. 22-yard return by the former All-American from the Naval Academy, Napoleon McCallum. Vince Evans still in at quarterback. 98-20.
Al Davis is not going to forget this game.
Try as he might, right? Here's a handoff to Roger Craig, who gets ahead down out to the 35-yard line. Gain of 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Okay, 2nd down and 6.
I would imagine the Raiders will run the rest of this game out. There's nothing gained by trying to throw the ball or anything like that.
Oilers go to the toughest ball yard they play in for them to win, and that's Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. How many have they lost there in a row?
They have not had good luck there. But then,
long time since they won there.
Cincinnati's not had good luck down here either, so it's kind of.
I know the Bengals have lost 6 in a row here, but I think it's like 11 in a row. The Oilers have lost at Cincinnati. That's where they play next week, do the Oilers. As we're down inside a minute to play now, the Raiders go home for their home opener at the Coliseum next Sunday against the Denver Broncos, who today destroyed Cincinnati, winning. Ran up 45, what was it, 45-14?
Something like that.
It wasn't pretty, whatever it was.
I'm not sure it was as bad as this, though.
Mercifully, this will come to a conclusion probably after this play. 3rd down and 4. The handoff goes straight ahead to Roger Craig. He's ahead for 2 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down and 2 as the game clock now is down to 15 seconds to play. And this year players have been instructed not to fraternize after a game. They can shake hands with an opponent, but they have to hurry off the field. We'll be coming back to the Astrodome in a minute as Jack Pardee and his Oilers move out to a 47-17 victory.